Traveling back to the 80s, my rough husband fucked me until my legs became weak. Xia Yushan opened her eyes and found that she had actually traveled back to the 80s. Being a mother without pain, no in-laws, and a husband who was wealthy and rarely home. Oh my, without work pressure and no life stress, isn't this the life she dreamed of? She never expected such good days would fall upon her. Xia Yushan couldn't help but smile widely. The original owner had a bad temper and a cruel stepmother. No problem, she had a good temper and knew how to handle kids. The original owner was as fat as a pig. No worries, she could lose weight after all, she was a weight loss blogger. With such good days ahead, she had to cherish them. Wife, I want a kiss. Xia Yushan looked at Lu Yuting, who was holding her, exuding charisma and good looks that made her drool, feeling both helpless and amused. It said that he rarely came home. No matter how handsome a man is, she can't stand him coming every day. Chapter 1, Time Travel. Brother, my hand is sore. A delicate, childlike voice, tinged with a whimper, held a fan made of banana leaves, struggling to wave it up and down. Yeah, don't stop. Otherwise, when she wakes up, she'll hit us again. Hearing about being hit, the little girl instantly perked up and put in more effort, not daring to slack off at all. Xia Yushan was sleeping soundly when she suddenly felt a buzzing noise near her ear, disturbing her peace. Moreover, it felt extremely hot. Didn't she just turn on the air conditioning? The heat was so intense that she couldn't sleep at all. She opened her eyes, and the scene before her left her in shock. Red bricks, green tiles, wooden window frames, and even the furniture in the room were all old wooden styles. Everything felt so antiquated. Looking at the calendar on the wall marked 1980, her eyes widened in disbelief. She had traveled through time. And she was in the 80s. Auntie, I'm sorry, I'll fan you properly. The girl's cries brought Xia Yushan back to reality. She looked at the two children in front of her. The little girl was crying her heart out, and the little boy was looking at her nervously, rubbing the hem of his worn shirt anxiously. Both children were very thin, almost like skin and bones, their checkered shirts already faded from washing. The little girl had tears streaming down her face, complete with two big runny noses. Memories from the original owner flooded into her mind. She realized that she had become the hot-tempered, unreasonable, and cruel stepmother. The original owner was also named Xia Yushan. In the 80s, there was a serious preference for sons over daughters. The original owner's older brother had developed a gambling addiction, borrowed money, and was unable to repay it. Fearing that a local thug would chop off his hands for the debt, their parents sold her to repay his gambling debts. She was sold to Lu Yuting, a factory owner in the neighboring village, who had two children. The original owner was initially willing to go. Those who were among the first to do business in the 80s made a fortune. Lu Yuting was among the first to set up a factory, buying wheat from families far and wide. He had a good reputation. Moreover, the two children were not Lu Yuting's biological kids, they were his brother's children. The brother had died in service to the country, and the sister-in-law, overwhelmed with raising two kids alone, had secretly abandoned them. Lu Yuting had thus taken the two children under his care. One boy, one girl. The boy was named Lu Jingfeng, 8 years old, and the girl was named Lu Jingyu, 4 years old. After marrying him, she discovered that Lu Yuting was not only busy but also rarely came home. When he did, he would just crash into bed, and in the year they were married, they hadn't even held hands. In rural areas, especially in the 80s, being married for a year without children could lead to gossip. Over time, the original owner's resentment grew, and she took it out on the children. This time, Lu Yuting had brought back some meat, originally intended for the children, but she hadn't even given them a sip of the broth. She perfectly exemplified the saying, "If the children suffer, I won't suffer." In the end, she overindulged herself and ended up bloated. Xia Yushan sighed. Her life seemed to be filled with odd people. She never expected that time travel could be so bizarre as well. Lu Jingyu thought she was unhappy and cried even harder. "Auntie, I'm sorry, I was wrong. The original owner never let the two children call her mom. Seeing Lu Jingyu cry so badly, Xia Yushan felt a pang of sympathy and panic. She was most afraid of children crying. Having never been a mother, she didn't know how to comfort them. She hurriedly wiped Lu Jingyu's tears. Don't cry. As she reached out, Lu Jingfeng warily pulled his sister behind him. Even though he was only 8, he had a maturity and steadiness beyond his years. There was a chilling sharpness in his brow. If you want to hit someone, hit me. Don't hit my sister. Xia Yushan paused, then recalled the original owner's abuse of the 2 children. Taking a deep breath, she tried to appear friendly. I'm not going to hit you. With a gentle tone and a sweet smile, both Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu were taken aback. However, the looks in their eyes were still filled with hostility and wariness. Xia Yushan knew they had been bullied by the original owner for a year, and their fear had deeply rooted itself in them. She sighed helplessly. It was said that Lu Yuting had bought the original owner because both of his parents had died, leaving no one to look after the 2 children. She really didn't understand what the original owner was thinking. No in-laws, no worries about mother-in-law and daughter-in-law conflicts, the ability to be a mother without pain, and, most importantly, a wealthy husband who wasn't home. This was the life countless women dreamed of in the 21st century. She was actually intent on ruining it. Looking at the 2 children, who were as thin as sticks, although they appeared a bit dirty, they had well-defined features. Especially Lu Jingyu, with her cute little pout, was quite adorable. You must be hungry. I'll go make you something to eat. The original owner had eaten all the children's food, how could they not be hungry? Since she was here, she would make the best of it. This lazy life that the original owner didn't want to cherish, she would definitely seize the opportunity. She straightened up, but before she could fully sit up, she fell back down again, using all her strength to finally get up. The original owner was truly hopeless. Getting up and seeing the mess in the house instantly made her feel terrible. The original owner was lazy and never cleaned up clothes, shoes, and even trash were scattered everywhere. Although she didn't have a cleanliness obsession, she had a serious compulsion to organize things. If things weren't categorized properly, it made her uncomfortable. First, she would cook 2 bowls of noodles for the kids, and then she would tidy up. There was no way she would want to live in such a pigsty. As she walked into the kitchen, her vision went dark. The dishes and pots were piled up, coated with grease. She truly didn't know how the original owner could eat in such an environment. Rolling up her sleeves, she started washing and scrubbing. Outside, Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu exchanged glances. Lu Jingyu innocently asked, "Brother, do you think she can really cook for us?" Lu Jingfeng didn't respond, his deep-set eyes fixed on the kitchen. Once Xia Yushan cleaned the dishes, she prepared 2 bowls of noodles for the kids. Lu Yuting owned a noodle factory, so he had an abundance of noodles. Noticing the kids were severely malnourished, she added 2 eggs to their noodles. Although the eggs were from their own chickens, they were still quite precious in this era. Most families were reluctant to eat them, saving them up to sell. Children were usually only given 1 egg to make a fried rice dish. The original owner never sold the eggs and didn't let the children eat them either, she kept them all for herself. Looking at the 2 bowls of noodles topped with eggs, Lu Jingfeng was somewhat incredulous, his gaze still wary. Lu Jingyu, being younger, couldn't help but drool at the sight of food. Go ahead and eat. Xia Yushan placed the noodles on the table. Lu Jingyu stepped forward but was held back by Lu Jingfeng. Seeing his cautious expression, Xia Yushan helplessly said, "Are you afraid I poisoned your bowls to kill you both?" Chapter 2 Lu Yuting is back. Lu Jingfeng didn't say anything, but his scrutinizing eyes said it all. Lu Jingyu was honest and nodded. Xia Yushan. Now we live in a society ruled by law. If I poison you, I will go to jail. Why don't I live such a comfortable life and go to jail? The original owner was too harsh on them before, and it was impossible to change their views on him all at once. If you are worried, don't eat. I'll go back to my room to change clothes. Xia Yushan turned around and went back to their house. The original owner was wearing a half-length floral skirt, which was not very convenient for doing things. After she left, Lu Jingyu pulled Lu Jingfeng's sleeve and whispered, "Brother, I think she is right." Looking at the noodles on the table, she was drooling. She hadn't eaten for a day, and her stomach was growling with hunger. Lu Jingfeng looked at the noodles on the table and was also greedy. After returning to their house, Xia Yushan had nothing to say about the original owner's laziness. She opened the closet, rummaged around, and found a pair of linen pants to change into. There was a glass mirror on the closet door that was as tall as a person. She changed her clothes habitually and looked in the mirror. She was stunned when she saw herself in the mirror. Looking at her fat body, she wanted to die. No wonder Lu Yuting didn't come back. The house didn't look like a home. The original owner was still in such a bad state. It would be strange if Lu Yuting wanted to come back. Xia Yushan took a deep breath and slowly accepted it all. It's okay, it's all a small matter. Xia Yushan, you can do it. Xia Yushan comforted herself. Losing weight was a piece of cake for her. She had gained weight before because of work pressure. Although she was not as fat as the original owner, she was also 120 to 130 kilograms. She was short, 155 centimeters, a typical southern potato. The original owner was estimated to be 170 to 180 kilograms, but she was tall, about 165 centimeters. Besides, the original owner was not fat before marriage, and she was not prone to obesity. The reason why she is like this now is that she ate too much. As long as she controls her diet, she can lose weight. She was stressed out before, and it was even harder to lose weight, but she insisted on losing weight. After changing her clothes, she cleaned up the bedroom first. She came out with dirty clothes, and saw Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu eating noodles. She smiled slightly. Seeing her come out, Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu quickly put down their chopsticks and stood up. Looking at her, they were alert and fearful. Xia Yushan's smile froze. What a deep impression the original owner left on the two children. You two, clean up the dishes after eating. And then collect all the garbage in the house. These things within their ability can be asked to help them appropriately. Men who can do housework will be popular in the future. Xia Yushan left the room, holding her clothes and leaving them by the well in the yard. Looking at the pile of dirty clothes and shoes, she was out of breath. With the original owner's body shape, she would pant heavily after moving, and it would take a long time to recover. She was exhausted after just tidying up the room. She rested for a while, cheered up and continued. When she returned to the room, Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu had finished eating noodles and put the bowls in the kitchen as she instructed. Lu Jingfeng was holding a big snakeskin bag to pack garbage, and Lu Jingyu followed behind him to help. Lu Jingfeng worked very hard, and Lu Jingyu imitated his brother and worked hard. The two little guys looked so good when they worked seriously. Seeing Xia Yushan come in and smile at her, Lu Jingyu shrank behind Lu Jingfeng in fear. Xia Yushan quickly stopped laughing and said in a serious tone, "After you two have cleaned up, go to the room and put the dirty clothes in the yard, then you can rest." Thanks to these two little guys, they can help clean up a little, otherwise with her current body and physique, it would be difficult to clean up the garbage in the main room. Lu Yuting has only been in business for more than 2 years, and the noodle factory is also in its growth period. Before, the Lu family's conditions were not very good, and they lived in a bungalow without whitewashing. Because he was busy, Lu Yuting had no time to consider building a new house. There are 3 rooms in the house. Lu Yuting and the original owner share one room. In fact, only the original owner has one room. Lu Yuting rarely comes back, and even if he comes back, he sleeps on the wooden sofa in the main room. This sofa was also bought by Lu Yuting after the heroine came in. At first, Lu Yuting bought the sofa because he often worked overtime and came back late at night every time. He was afraid of disturbing the original owner, so he just slept on the sofa for a night. But later, the original owner always quarreled with Lu Yuting, so Lu Yuting was even more reluctant to go back to his room to rest. The other 2 rooms, one was Lu Jingfeng's, and the other was where Lu Yuting's parents lived before. After his parents died, it was empty. Lu Jingyu was young, and when Lu Yuting's parents were alive, she slept with her grandparents. After the original owner came in, according to reason, the original owner should take Lu Jingyu with her. But the original owner didn't want to, and Lu Jingyu was afraid to sleep alone, so she lived in the same room with her brother. When Xia Yushan came in, she saw 2 small beds in the room. The original owner had never been to the room of the 2 children and had no idea. She thought it should be prepared by Lu Yuting. This Lu Yuting is quite careful and noticed such small details. Although Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu are still young, there is still a difference between men and women. She stepped forward, folded the quilts of the 2 small beds, and tidied them up. Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu also obediently carried the dirty clothes and shoes out. The 2 children moved very quickly. Xia Yushan knew that they were afraid of being beaten if they didn't do it well. The 2 children looked pale and thin, which made people feel very distressed. The inside and outside of the house had been cleaned up, and Xia Yushan brought in another bucket of water. She took 3 breaks to bring in this small bucket of water. The ground was dirt. If you don't sprinkle water, the whole house will be covered with dust. It will be much better if you press it with water. Although she had never seen such a dirt surface, the cement floor at home when she was a child was the same. If you don't sprinkle water, the dust will fly when you sweep. After cleaning up, the sun had set. Xia Yushan wiped the sweat from her forehead and found that her hands were covered with dust. The sweat made them even dirtier, and her face was rubbed into a little cat. Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu were also dirty. They were a little dirty to begin with, and now they looked more like they had just come back from digging the ground. You two, follow me to the yard to wash. Xia Yushan went out, and Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu followed behind her obediently. Lu Jingyu had been timidly grabbing the corner of Lu Jingfeng's clothes, and moved forward step by step. Xia Yushan wrung out the wet towel and handed it to Lu Jingfeng. Even if the 2 siblings were wary of her now, it was impossible for her to wipe their faces. Lu Jingfeng tentatively reached out and took the towel, looking at Xia Yushan from time to time. After waking up, the stepmother seemed to have changed. Not only did she cook noodles for them, but she also didn't lose her temper with them. Even when she asked them to do something, she was kind. She smiled at them from time to time. This had never happened before. As long as they did not do well, she would either beat or scold them. I don't know what bad intentions she is playing. Xia Yushan washed her face and stood up. Okay, Jingfeng, wash your sister's face and hands, I'll go cook. She likes to cook. Before, when she got home from work, she would research cooking on the internet and cook at home on weekends. Eating the food she cooked herself is also an achievement. Dad. Just as she was about to enter the house, she heard Lu Jingyue's joyful voice. Chapter 3 Wronged. Lu Yuting? Didn't he always come back late? Why so early today? Xia Yushan paused and turned to look. A man wearing an old man's vest walked into the yard. His thick arms were all muscled. Due to years of exposure to the sun, the man's skin was dark, but it did not affect his delicate features at all. The tall man, who was nearly 1.9 meters tall, stood there with full sexual tension. Xia Yushan's naked eyes were unconcealed. She had been single for 25 years, and now seeing such a man with full sexual tension, her hormones would explode. Dad. Lu Jingyu hugged Lu Yuting's thigh and acted like a spoiled child. She was completely different from the timid and pitiful little look just now. Lu Jingfeng seemed a little reserved. Dad. He stopped 1 meter away from Lu Yuting. In fact, he also wanted to hug his father and act like a spoiled child like Yaya. Lu Yuting picked up Lu Jingyu and rubbed Lu Jingfeng's head with his hand, with a faint smile on his face. But when he saw the clothes piled up next to the well, he frowned. Are you washing clothes? The 2 children standing together with a pile of clothes made people think too much. In the factory, people have always said that Xia Yushan abused the 2 children at home. At first, he was not affected by the gossip. Xia Yushan was introduced by a friend who opened a shop. He said that there was a girl who was willing to marry him and didn't mind that he had 2 children, but the girl's parents needed a dowry of 5,000 yuan. 5,000 yuan was not a small amount in the 1980s. Lu Yuting knew that the girl's parents wanted such a high dowry, which was selling their daughter in disguise. Friends said that the girl was kind-hearted and hardworking. Although her parents worked in a factory in the city and had a welfare house in the city. But there were many brothers and sisters in the family, and they lived very frugally. As the youngest daughter in the family, Xia Yushan not only had to cook at home and take care of the family's life, but also had to help her mother work in the factory when she had time. After their parents passed away, Jingfeng and Jingyu had no one to take care of them. Lu Yuting agreed. But after getting married, he kept hearing people say that Xia Yushan abused the 2 children at home. Seeing the 2 children getting thinner and thinner, he gradually became suspicious. Today, there was nothing to do in the factory, so he came back early. But he didn't expect to see this scene. He looked at Lu Jingfeng on the side. Lu Jingfeng shook his head. No, I'm washing my sister's face. Although he didn't like this stepmother very much. But he knew he couldn't lie. Today, his stepmother did not abuse him and Yaya. Lu Yuting found that he had wronged Xia Yushan, and looked at Xia Yushan with a trace of guilt. Xia Yushan knew what he meant by the question he just asked, and naturally she was a little angry. However, the man was quite stable. He did not question her without knowing the truth, but chose to understand the situation first. She was not so angry. "Here is this for you." Liu Yuting handed over a cloth bag. Xia Yushan looked at him in confusion, took the cloth bag, and was stunned when she opened it. Inside was a set of skin care products, a certain Ling's snow cream. When she was young, her mother often used it, and her skin was particularly good. She also used it secretly. It can be said that it is not inferior to the current big brands. The snow cream at that time was pure in texture and smelled very fragrant. It was very good in moisturizing, keeping warm, and fading fine lines. But after growing up, she never bought a bottle of cream that could keep warm, moisturize, and even fade fine lines. The original owner did not pay attention to maintenance. Even at the age of 25, her skin looked very rough. In addition, she ate and drank a lot, and her face was badly acne. She was just worrying about how to maintain the original owner's face, and Liu Yuting solved it for her. This man has everything, money, and a stable mood. I really don't know why the original owner is still not satisfied. Looking at the skin care products, Xia Yushan immediately put on a sweet smile. "You came back so early, haven't you eaten yet? I'll go cook." After saying that, she went into their house, put down the skin care products, and went into the kitchen. Seeing her so happy, Liu Yuting was stunned again. It seems that the brothers are right. 2 days ago, he was in the factory and heard a few brothers chatting about the women at home. One brother said that women also need care, and they don't really want much. She feels your care and your respect for her, so she will naturally be devoted to you and your family. Looking back on this year, he really neglected Xia Yushan. Because of the busy work, he often worked until late at night. Let alone care, it was difficult to see each other. They said that women are nothing more than dressing themselves up and buying some beautiful clothes. He asked his friends in the city to buy these skin care products. He didn't know what these bottles and jars were used for. His friends said that girls in the city all used them. He didn't expect Xia Yushan to be so happy. When he entered the house and looked at the cleaned house, there was a little more shock on his cold face. The clean and tidy house was completely different from before. The kitchen was a big iron pot that burned wood. Xia Yushan had to be busy in the pot while adding wood. When she was a child, her family used this kind of big iron pot. Because there was a lot of farm work at home, she started learning to cook at the age of 12. Although this big iron pot had not been used for a long time, it was still handy to use. "Let me help you." Liu Yuting came over and took the fire tongs she used to hold the firewood. Xia Yushan didn't hesitate to give him the fire tongs. She didn't have to add firewood herself, which saved her a lot of trouble. She steamed some rice and then went to prepare the side dishes. There was meat at home, so she made shredded pork with green peppers and potato slices with oil vegetables. After the rice was steamed, she started to cook. She was light-footed and skilled. Liu Yuting looked at her and was distracted for a moment. In his impression, Xia Yushan was an extremely unstable person. Usually, she would quarrel after they had said 3 sentences. Liu Yuting, who never liked quarrels, would hide in the factory to be quiet at this time. "Why are you looking at me?" Xia Yushan saw that Liu Yuting was staring at her. Liu Yuting came back to his senses and quickly retracted his gaze. He was at a loss and was busy adding firewood to the stove to cover up his confusion. Xia Yushan smiled secretly. This man was quite shy. "I'll just stir-fry one more vegetable. You take these 2 out and eat." "Okay." Liu Yuting got up and took the dishes out of the kitchen. Liu Jingfeng was also very sensible and hurried to help with the leftovers. Jingyu was drooling as she looked at the food on the table. It had been a long time since she had eaten fresh food. Before, her stepmother never cooked for them. She always ate leftovers, and her brother would heat them up after school, and they would eat whatever they wanted. There was not a single scrap of meat. Today, there was such a big plate of meat. Liu Jingfeng knew that his stepmother ate a lot, so he filled a big bowl for Xia Yushan. Xia Yushan felt numb as she looked at the pile of rice. Chapter for weight loss. I can't eat so much. Xia Yushan gave the larger half of the rice in her bowl to Liu Yuting, and only took a small half bowl for herself. Since she has decided to lose weight, she must do it. Although rice is a carbohydrate, it is the cleanest carbohydrate, especially in the 1980s, when rice was the cleanest. It is impossible for the original owner to stop eating carbohydrates with such a large base. The consequences of not eating carbohydrates for a long time are hair loss, menstruation, and temper. Reasonable diet planning is the healthy way to lose fat. She never rushes to do things. It's the same as losing weight. If you rush to do it, the consequence is rebound. The fat on your body didn't grow up in a day or two, so it's impossible to lose it in a day or two. She picked up a large chopstick of green vegetables, and then a few slices of lean meat. When she had enough, she didn't pick up any more. The ratio of green vegetables to lean meat is 2:1 at night. Lean meat contains protein, and supplementing protein can improve metabolism. But it's not easy to digest at night, so you can't eat too much meat. Seeing that she ate less, Liu Yuting only took a few pieces of meat. There is no meat at home. I will buy some more tomorrow. Liu Yuting took a few pieces of meat and put them in Xia Yushan's bowl. Xia Yushan moved the bowl aside and refused. I am losing weight. You don't have to give it to me. Give it to Jingfeng and Jingyu. Liu Yuting paused and looked at Xia Yushan. A complex flashed in his deep eyes. I don't pay so much attention to my appearance. Xia Yushan's mouth twitched. He wouldn't have misunderstood that she was losing weight for him. However, his words made her feel good. I am losing weight for my health. If I continue to gain weight like this, I will have 3 highs. 3 highs? Liu Yuting was puzzled. Xia Yushan explained, it's high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high blood lipids. Liu Yuting looked at her with a little more scrutiny. Today, Xia Yushan is indeed very different. She doesn't lose her temper, nor is she selfish and only cares about herself. She is like a different person. After dinner, Liu Yuting and Liu Jingfeng helped to clean up. After Xia Yushan cleaned up and came out of the kitchen, Liu Yuting came up to her and handed her a stack of money. This is this month's living expenses. Xia Yushan looked at the thick stack of banknotes and widened her eyes. Such a thick stack must be a lot. She took it and counted it, a full 100 yuan. 100 yuan in the 1980s is equivalent to 2,000 or 3,000 now. In fact, Liu Yuting has always been very generous, giving 80 to 100 living expenses every month. The original owner either used it to buy food and drinks for herself, or to subsidize her parents' home. Every month, she was unable to make ends meet. Liu Yuting knew something, but he did not deduct her living expenses. He knew it was hard to take care of 2 children. He did not look down on Xia Yushan because he married her with a high bride price. There was only one request from him, that is, to treat Jingfeng and Jingyu well. Xia Yushan didn't hesitate and put the money in her pocket. Although she was in the countryside, she still needed money. It was embarrassing for her to ask Liu Yuting for money. The nightlife in the 1980s was boring. There were no mobile phones or TVs. Xia Yushan took a shower and returned to her room early, eager to use the snow cream Liu Yuting bought for her. It was indeed the snow cream that was popular in the 1980s. It was easy to use, easy to spread, easy to absorb, and the face was smooth and tender when touched. With a squeak. She was startled when the door opened and stood up from the chair. After leaving her parents, she lived alone in a foreign place. Suddenly, someone opened her door, and she hadn't adapted yet. Liu Yuting was stunned by her excited behavior. Are you here to get the quilt? Xia Yushan spoke first. Liu Yuting always slept on the sofa every time he came back, and the quilt he covered himself with was placed on the bed in the bedroom. He didn't mean to do so, but he nodded mechanically. I'll put away the quilt today. Wait a minute, I'll give it to you. Xia Yushan got up and went to the cabinet to get the quilt. After Liu Yuting used it before, the original owner just threw it on the bed. As long as there was enough space for her to sleep, she didn't care if the bed was messy. Xia Yushan was not used to it. She didn't allow anything else on the bed except the quilt, pillow, and a pillow she covered herself with. You'd better not sleep on the sofa. You're so tired from work, and you can't rest well on the sofa. When Xia Yushan said this, Liu Yuting's deep eyes flashed a little strange, but Xia Yushan's next words made his deep eyes darken. You go to Jingfeng's room and let Jingyu come and sleep with me. Although Jingyu's bed is small, it is still a bed and it will be more comfortable to sleep. Xia Yushan handed the quilt to Liu Yuting. Okay. Liu Yuting took the quilt. Although he and Xia Yushan are husband and wife, he will not force her. If Xia Yushan is unwilling, he will not force her. Liu Yuting left with the quilt, and Xia Yushan breathed a sigh of relief. Although Liu Yuting is a handsome guy who is very attractive, with good looks and good figure, and full of sexual tension. But she has been single for 25 years. She is not ready to sleep with a man. However, Lu Yuting's muscular body does make her very impulsive. After Lu Yuting left, Lu Jingyu came not long after. She walked into the room tremblingly, with a fearful look, but also a bit of expectation. After all, her mother gave birth to her less than a year ago, her father had an accident, and her mother ran away. Which child doesn't want to fall asleep in her mother's arms? Lu Jingyu wanted to, but she was afraid. Although the original owner beat her less and Lu Jingfeng more, he would yell at her and scold her at any time. She had already had a shadow in her heart. Come in. Xia Yushan waved with a smile. Lu Jingyue's nervous and fearful mood relaxed a little and walked in slowly. Look at your little face, it's all cracked. Xia Yushan picked up the snow cream on the table and applied it on Lu Jingyue's little face. This snow cream can be used not only by adults but also by children, without any stimulation. Lu Jingyu stared at Xia Yushan blankly. Brother said that the reason why stepmother is so gentle is because dad is at home. She pretends to be so gentle for dad. But she really wants dad to be at home all the time, and stepmother is always so gentle. Okay, go to bed. Lu Jingyu was very obedient and climbed onto the bed and lay down obediently. Xia Yushan also cleaned up and went to bed. This early bedtime still made her a little uncomfortable, and there was a baby sleeping next to her. She tossed and turned, and she didn't know how long it took to fall asleep. Just as she fell asleep, she woke up hungry again. She was so hungry that she was panicking. This is the pain of losing weight in the early stages. Suddenly change your diet and reduce your food intake. The body must have an adaptation period, and as long as this adaptation period is over, it will be much better. She was so hungry that Xia Yushan got up at dawn, while Lu Jingyu was still sleeping soundly. She put on a coat and came out of the room, just in time to see Lu Yuting taking Lu Jingfeng out, with Lu Jingfeng carrying a school bag on his back. Xia Yushan looked at the calendar and realized that today was Monday. So early. It was just dawn. Chapter 5 The Weird Mother is here. Lu Yuting was also a little surprised to see Xia Yushan wake up. When he was not busy, he also stayed at home. Xia Yushan usually would never wake up before 8 o'clock. In the countryside, an hour's work is already done at 8 o'clock. He replied, well, I happened to be at home today, so I took Jingfeng to school. There is usually only one school in 2 or 3 villages in the countryside. The school is also closer to the city. Qingyun village, where they live, is the most remote village in the mountains, and they have to pass through 2 other villages to go to school. It takes 1 or 2 hours to walk to and from school. Xia Yushan asked, have you had breakfast? Jingfeng's school has buns. I will give him money later and he will go to school to eat. There is also breakfast in the factory. I will go to the factory to eat. Lu Yuting rode a 28-bar bicycle and took Lu Jingfeng out. Xia Yushan went into their house, changed her clothes, and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. She made a bowl of noodles for Lu Jingyu and boiled an egg. She boiled a potato for herself and then boiled an egg. When making noodles for Lu Jingyu, she put some vegetables and a spoonful of lard for herself. I don't know who spread the rumor that lard can't be eaten, and eating too much will cause 3 highs and cancer. In fact, lard is high-quality fat, which helps the body absorb. It is much better than the soybean oil sold on the market. It has protein, vitamins, carbohydrates, and high-quality fats. A perfect fat-reducing meal. She made breakfast and just served it on the table. Lu Jingyu came out of the room rubbing her eyes. Wake up, go brush your teeth, wash your face and have breakfast. Lu Jingyu was stunned for a moment, thinking she was dreaming, and rubbed her eyes hard again. I found that there was really a bowl of hot noodles on the table. My stepmother has really changed. It would be great if my stepmother had always been like this. After breakfast, Xia Yushan looked at the pile of clothes outside the door and felt powerless. This is her life today. Yushan. Yushan. A laughing voice came from outside the door. A middle-aged woman walked in quickly, with a bright smile on her face. Seeing Xia Yushan washing clothes and brushing shoes, she was stunned for a moment, and then she went forward and pulled her up. Why are you doing these? Let them do it. Xia Yushan's eyes twisted and she looked at the woman. The original owner's mother, Zhang Cuifen. Yesterday, Lu Yuting had just given her living expenses, and she came today, and she was really on time. Let's go, let's talk in the room. Zhang Zuifan pulled Xia Yushan into the house. Seeing that the room was clean and tidy, she was stunned again, and smiled with relief. Yushan, it seems that you have educated these two little things well. That's it, let them work, how can they eat for free without working? Lu Jingyu, who ran out of the room, saw Zhang Zuifan's face turned ugly in an instant, and she was afraid to run back. Stop! Zhang Zuifan shouted. Lu Jingyu was so scared that she trembled. Go, pour me a cup of hot water. Zhang Zuifan ordered, not treating herself as an outsider at all. Lu Jingyu hurried to the kitchen to pour water. Xia Yushan's cold eyes deepened slightly. The reason why the original owner became a tyrannical and vicious stepmother had a lot to do with her biological mother. She instigated it just to make Xia Yushan force Lu Yuting to send Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu away, and then give birth to Lu Yuting's child. Everyone knows that Lu Yuting's noodle factory has been doing well in the past 2 years and has made some money. The original owner's mother's family are all greedy people. They did this just to take advantage of Lu Yuting's factory. Lu Jingyu came over carefully with hot water, fearing that the hot water would spill. Grandma, have some tea. Yeah. Zhang Zuifan raised her head, squinted her eyes, and looked arrogant. She glanced at Lu Jingyu, and a malicious smile flashed across the corner of her mouth. Just when she reached out to take the water, Xia Yushan was one step faster than her. R. Zhang Zuifan screamed. A cup of hot water spilled all over her hands. Xia Yushan certainly knew what she was going to do. She was just giving him a taste of her own medicine. Zhang Zuifan looked at her scalded red hands and cursed, "You little bitch, how can you hold the water? Are you going to scold me to death?" While cursing, she raised her hand to hit her. Lu Jingyu was trembling with fear, tears streaming down her face. As the slap fell, Xia Yushan pulled Lu Jingyu behind her. Zhang Zuifan missed. Mom, it was obviously you who were careless just now, how can you blame Jingyu? Zhang Zuifan looked at Xia Yushan in disbelief. Girl, what are you talking about? Mom, am I wrong? You were scolded by accident, how can you blame Jingyu? Yushan, I am your real mother. Zhang Zuifan screamed. This harsh cry gave Xia Yushan a headache. She now knew why the original owner would yell and scream at every turn. It was definitely inherited. But Mom, Jingyu is my daughter now. She. Before Zhang Zuifan started to curse, Xia Yushan said again, Mom, don't call Jingfeng and Jingyu little bitches anymore. I am their mother now. Where does it put me if you call them that? Isn't it embarrassing for me? Zhang Zuifan was almost mad at Xia Yushan's words. Even so, she didn't forget the purpose of coming today. You are really going backwards. I am too lazy to talk to you today. I am on leave and I have to go back to work in the factory later. Give me the money. Zhang Zuifan stretched out her hand. Xia Yushan pretended to be confused. What money? Why are you pretending to be so? Lu Yuting should have given you this month's living expenses. Hurry up, I will miss the bus to work later. This is really justified to ask for money. Xia Yushan took a deep breath and tried to keep smiling. There was really no need to get angry when encountering such a weirdo. No. No. Didn't he give you money on time every month? He knows that I gave all the money to my parents, so he doesn't want to give it. Now he sends someone to buy meat and vegetables for the day every day so that we can eat. If you want money, go to Lu Yuting for it. Xia Yushan said with a bit of frustration and pity. You can't confront such a weirdo. They will only become more shameless if you confront them. If you quarrel, the neighbors will know about it and who knows what they will say about her. After all, the original owner didn't have a good reputation in the entire Qingyan village. She brought up Lu Yuting because she knew that Zhang Zuifan didn't dare to go to him. At the beginning, they had signed a contract. Lu Yuting paid a betrothal gift of 5,000 yuan, and Xia Yushan had nothing to do with the Xia family anymore. Zhang Zuifan cursed angrily, this Lu Yuting is so rich, but still so stingy. Xia Yushan smiled secretly and said nothing. From today on, she will not give the Xia family a penny. The original owner was foolishly filial, but she is not. After scolding Lu Yuting, Zhang Zuifan scolded Xia Yushan again. You are also a useless thing. You have been married to Lu Yuting for a year, and there is no movement in your belly. If you are pregnant, can he treat you like this? With a bang, Xia Yushan smashed the teacup on the table to the ground, and Zhang Cuifen's voice stopped abruptly. Chapter 6 Greedy. Xia Yushan's behavior scared Zhang Cuifen, and she looked at her daughter with strange eyes. Lu Jingyu was also scared. This is what her stepmother does when she gets mad, smashing things and yelling. She instinctively shrank back to the door. Xia Yushan had a smile on her face, but it was not warm at all. Mom, if you keep yelling like this, the neighbors will hear the noise and come to watch the fun. I'm the one making a fool of myself. If Lu Yuting knew that I had lost face for his Lu family and divorced me, and the married girl was sent back, then the Xia family would lose face as well. In the 1980s, divorce was a huge scandal for women. A divorced woman would be criticized when she returned to her parents' home. Even her family members would not be able to raise their heads. Zhang Cuifen's face turned ugly in an instant, and her arrogance just now also faded. Sister-in-law, Brother Yuting asked me to bring you some food. A voice came from outside the door. Zhang Cuifen left the house before Xia Yushan. The person who came was Li Fei, a worker in Lu Yuting's factory. When he saw Zhang Cuifen coming out of the house, his face turned ugly, his eyes were obviously disgusted, and he whispered, "You are here to take advantage again. Give it to me." Zhang Cuifen came up and snatched the food from Li Fei's hand. Li Fei was dissatisfied. "Hey, no, why are you like this? What about me? I am the mother-in-law of your boss. Shouldn't he respect me? I don't even like this little meat." She was disgusted, but her hands were already rummaging through the things in the bag. Not only meat, but also ribs. Her eyes were shining. She didn't get paid today, and she couldn't go back empty-handed, otherwise the round-trip car fare and the wages for leave would be lost. It just so happened that the eldest son and grandson were coming back today, so she made bone soup for them to drink and nourish them well. "Mom, if you take it all away, you won't even be able to think of the meat next time you come." Xia Yushan walked out of the house. Zhang Cuifen's face darkened, looking at the meat and ribs in the bag, and then looked at Li Fei beside her. If this talkative person said something to Lu Yuting, if Lu Yuting continued to deduct the household expenses, she really wouldn't get any benefits. After weighing the pros and cons, she made up her mind, threw the meat into Xia Yushan's hands, and then left angrily. Whether it was today or in the 1980s, ribs were more expensive than meat. It was difficult for ordinary families to eat ribs on a regular basis. After killing the pig, the ribs were also used to make cured ribs. When the pigs were killed, the ribs were also used to make cured ribs. When guests came to their house during the Chinese New Year, some of them would be taken down and stewed. Xia Yushan took the meat and didn't chase Zhang Cuifen to ask her to return the ribs. The whole family of the original owner's mother's family were greedy and loved to take advantage of small things. Especially Zhang Cuifen, if she is not allowed to take some back, she will never give up. The original owner's reputation in Qingyun village was not good. At this time, she would not get any good out of making a scene with Zhang Cuifen. If she cannot give the other party a fatal blow, then there is no need to do so. Xia Yushan looked at Li Fei, who was also looking at her with contempt. She knew what Li Fei was thinking at this moment. She did not explain much, and politely thanked him. "Comrade Li, thank you for making you run all their way." Li Fei was stunned, thinking that he was hallucinating. It was not the first time he came to deliver vegetables. Every time he came, let alone thank you, he did not have a good face. Today, she was so polite to him. She was afraid that he would tell Brother Yuting about her giving the meat to her mother's family. Xia Yushan did not care what he was thinking, and asked, "Do you want to rest for a while? Do you want me to get you a glass of water?" "No." Li Fei found that he had lost his composure and was a little at a loss. "By the way, Brother Yuting asked me to tell you that the factory is going to ship goods today, and he may not come back tonight." "Okay." Xia Yushan nodded. Li Fei was shocked again. In the past, when he said that Brother Yuting would not come back, Xia Yushan would definitely be unhappy and smash things. Why is she so easy to talk to today? Finding that he had lost his composure again, he hurriedly said, "There is something going on in the factory, so I will leave first." Then he turned the car around and rode away in a hurry on the 28 bar. Xia Yushan carried the meat into their house and saw Lu Jingyu hiding behind the door, looking at her timidly. "Are you scared?" "It doesn't matter, the bad grandma has left." Xia Yushan did not approach. Lu Jingyu was afraid of her. If she approached, she would only make her more afraid. Lu Jingyu still looked at her timidly, but her eyes were not as timid as before. Xia Yushan said nothing more and took the meat into the kitchen. Then she washed the clothes and shoes that had not been washed just now. There was no washing machine or dehydrator, so she could only wring them out and let them dry naturally. There had never been so many clothes hanging on the bamboo poles in the yard like today. After washing the clothes, Xia Yushan was already sweating profusely. The original owner's body was too much for her. Even when washing those few clothes, she took several breaks in the middle. She was still exhausted after washing. Not only tired, but also hungry. According to the original owner's appetite, what she ate in the morning was not enough for her to take care of until noon. However, she still made it to noon. At noon, there were only her and Jingyu, so she just made a simple meal. She fried some vegetables, fried a small plate of meat slices, and steamed an egg. She took a plate, put a fist of rice, picked up a chopstick of vegetables, picked up some meat, and put some steamed eggs. Lu Jingyu looked at her with clear eyes, full of doubts. You eat, no need to look at me. Xia Yushan scooped the remaining half bowl of steamed egg into Lu Jingyu's bowl, and also picked up a lot of meat for her. Under the suppression of the original owner, Lu Jingyu was not allowed to eat the dishes, let alone go to the table. She absolutely dared not to pick up the dishes herself, so Xia Yushan had to pick them up for her. Although her stepmother became good yesterday, Lu Jingyu was still very surprised. Her brother said that her stepmother was pretending because her father was at home. But today her father was not at home, and her stepmother also picked up so many dishes for her. Before, her stepmother could finish all by herself. Today, she only ate a little bit, and the meat and eggs were given to her. Smelling the fragrance of the meat, she couldn't help drooling, and didn't care so much, she ate it in big mouthfuls. It smells so good, the meat smells so good, and the steamed eggs smell so good too. Seeing her eating so deliciously, Xia Yushan smiled slightly. Maybe she didn't sleep well last night, and after dinner, Xia Yushan felt a little sleepy. However, she did not sleep immediately, nor did she sit down. She would walk slowly or stand for half an hour after eating. Otherwise, all the fat would accumulate on her belly. It was just right for her to use this time to get familiar with the environment. The house she lived in was a single-family house, and the neighbors were about a mile away. There was a courtyard in front of the gate and a chicken coop behind the house. When Lu Yuting's parents were there, they fed chickens. After the original owner got married, there were more than 20 chickens. Every time the original owner's parents came, they would take 1 or 2 chickens. The original owner herself was also greedy and would occasionally kill one to eat. It must be said that the original owner was a real foodie. If she was asked to kill a chicken, she would rather not eat it. In the past year, she ate what she ate and what was taken away by her parents. There were only 2 chickens left out of more than 20 chickens. A week ago, they were all killed and eaten by the original owner. Now the chicken coop is empty. The eggs at home were also saved before. When she cooked at noon, she saw that there were not many left. To lose weight, you need to supplement protein. In this era, there is no other protein to replace it, and eggs are the best. In addition, Jingfeng and Jingyu are also growing up, so they also need to supplement protein and increase nutrition. It is impossible to let her feed the chickens, and she doesn't know how to do it, so don't abuse the small animals. It seems that we can only think of a way to deal with the eggs. Chapter 7. Has the stepmother become better? Next to the chicken coop is a vegetable garden, but it has become a wasteland. The original owner grew up in the city and didn't know how to grow vegetables. But Xia Yushan is not like that. She grew up in the countryside and followed her parents to grow vegetables since she was a child. And she also likes to grow vegetables and flowers. Xia Yushan decided. When there is time, she will develop the wasteland and bring back vegetable seeds. She walked around the house and went back to sleep. Lu Jingyu is very well behaved. When she sleeps, she doesn't make a fuss and plays by herself. She slept until Lu Jingfeng came back from school. I'm back. Lu Jingfeng came in from outside. Lu Jingyu greeted him happily. Brother, you're back. You're back, I'll go cook. Xia Yushan stood up. She was a child, and she knew that the food in the school cafeteria was not good at all. The big pot rice, the dishes were boiled in plain water, without oil or salt. In order to save money, the children who lived nearby went home for lunch. The original owner didn't want to do it, and his home was far from the school, so Lu Jingfeng ate at school. Every month, Lu Yuting would take a bag of rice to school and exchange it for meal tickets. A meal ticket was for taels of rice, and the meal ticket could only be used to get rice, and the dishes had to be paid for separately. The dishes were divided into 1 cent and 3 cent dishes. 1 cent dishes were vermicelli stewed with cabbage, a little boiled water, and mixed together and cooked like this. 3 cent dishes would have a few pieces of meat in them. Although Jingfeng and Jingyu were not Lu Yuting's children, he had never treated the brother and sister badly. The money for Jingfeng's meals was also given to him separately. Each meal was calculated at 30 cents. But Lu Jingfeng only ate 10 cents worth of food every day. He knew that his father worked hard to earn money, so he never spent money recklessly. He saved all the money his father gave him. One day, if his father had his own child and his stepmother didn't want him and his sister anymore, he would give the money he saved to his sister and go to work, so he wouldn't have to worry about his sister going hungry. Seeing Xia Yushan enter the kitchen, Lu Jingfeng pulled Lu Jingyu and asked in a low voice, "Yeye, did she beat you today?" Lu Jingyu shook her head. "The bad grandma came today." Lu Jingfeng, who had been relieved, became nervous again. "The bad grandma asked my stepmother for money, but she didn't give it to me, and she got angry with me and broke the cup." Lu Jingfeng still didn't believe it. "You mean, my stepmother got angry with the bad grandma?" "Yeah." Lu Jingyu nodded vigorously. "When the bad grandma scolded me, my stepmother asked her not to scold me. Also, at noon today, she cooked meat and eggs, but gave them to me. She only ate a little bit herself. Brother, do you think my stepmother has really become better? She likes her stepmother now." Lu Jingfeng's little face was deep, which was not seen at his age. Last time, he heard that she discussed with the bad grandma to sell him and Jingyu. She must be treating them so well now, and she might be planning something bad. "Yeah, you must remember at home that you must not go out with her alone, okay?" "Yeah." Lu Jingyu nodded obediently. Xia Yushan went into the kitchen, took out the remaining meat, chopped it up and made meatball soup with some green vegetables. Last night, she fried a plate of potato chips. Seeing that Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu liked it, she fried another plate. Because Lu Yuting was not coming back, she did not cook more. There is no refrigerator at home. In such a hot day, it would be a waste if we cook too much and cannot eat it and it goes bad. Although Lu Yuting is not short of money now, he will not spend it so recklessly. You should spend what you should spend, but you should also save what you should save. She cooked the meal, and Lu Jingfeng had finished his homework. Seeing her bring out the dishes, he hurried to the kitchen to help serve the dishes and rice. Although he was still on guard against the stepmother, he would help with what he should help with. "Dad said that I should help my mother with some housework at home." Xia Yushan still did the same. She served a fist of rice, picked up 2 meatballs, and picked up 2 chopsticks of cabbage in the meatball soup. Put it on the plate. It was also a small plate. Compared with the amount of the original owner before, it was more than twice less. Even if she was so hungry that her chest was sticking to her back, she did not allow herself to eat more. Losing weight depends on self-discipline. If you can't control yourself, there will be no breakthrough. Lu Jingyu is now open-minded and starts to pick up food for herself and even for Lu Jingfeng. After dinner, Lu Jingfeng helps to clean up, wash dishes and wipe the table. Xia Yushan collects all the clothes washed during the day and folds them into the closet. When she comes out after work, she sees Lu Jingfeng but not Lu Jingyu. "Jingfeng, where is Jingyu?" Lu Jingfeng meets Xia Yushan's eyes and immediately lowers his head, whispering, "She went to Chugu's house to watch TV." The 1980s was still a generation with serious feudal ideas. Every family would give their children nicknames, saying that it would be easier to raise them. The uglier the name, the easier it is to raise them. Piglets and Chugu are common. TVs are also rare in this era, especially in rural areas, where there are very few. Chugu's family only has such a TV because his father is the village chief. Children from the neighborhood would go to his house to watch TV every day. Lu Jingyu also went there often. However, the original owner did not have a good relationship with the neighbors, and she did not allow Lu Jingyu to go. Every time Lu Jingyu sneaked away when she was not paying attention. As soon as Xia Yushan turned around to go out, Lu Jingfeng ran over to stop her. "Auntie, Yeye just wants to watch TV. If you want to beat me, beat me. I will take the beating for Yeye. Just let her watch for a while, okay?" Lu Jingfeng was so anxious that his eyes were red. Jingfeng, you must have misunderstood. I didn't stop Yaya from watching TV, and I won't beat her. Xia Yushan tried to make herself look gentle. She knew that the original owner had brought a lot of shadows to them, and she didn't blame Lu Jingfeng for misunderstanding her. Lu Jingfeng paused and looked at Xia Yushan, not trusting her very much. Xia Yushan said patiently, I just think it's night now, and it's not safe for Yaya to come back alone. I'll go pick her up. I'll go with you. Xia Yushan knew that Lu Jingfeng still didn't believe her, so she nodded and agreed. Chugu's house is just on the opposite side of the highway, and you can get there by walking through a small path. From a distance, Xia Yushan saw that there were many people sitting in Chugu's house. There were children and adults. The adults fanned their children with big palm leaf fans, drove away mosquitoes, and talked and laughed. The children sat on small stools, and the adults sat on chairs. When she saw Lu Jingyu, her eyes instantly turned red. Lu Jingyu was sitting on the doorstep alone, looking at the house. No one paid attention to her, and no one cared. She didn't even have a small stool. Mosquitoes bit her and she kept scratching her legs. This scene made Xia Yushan sad and distressed, and the tears in her eyes couldn't stop falling. If Yaya was a child loved by her mother, how could she be treated like this? Chapter 8 Find Lu Yuting. Lu Jingfeng didn't feel that there was anything wrong with Lu Jingyu being ignored like this. Seeing that Xia Yushan didn't say anything and didn't move forward, he thought his stepmother was angry. Auntie, I'll call Yaya back now. After saying that, Lu Jingfeng hurried to call for help. Lu Jingyu followed her brother and ran back, looking at Xia Yushan timidly, not daring to speak. Let's go home. Xia Yushan didn't say anything either, letting the two children walk in front, and she walked behind, using a flashlight to illuminate the two of them. Back home, Xia Yushan went straight into their house. Lu Jingyu fearfully pulled the corner of Lu Jingfeng's clothes. Brother, don't be afraid. Lu Jingfeng comforted, but his own body was also shaking slightly. He made up his mind that if his stepmother hit Yaya later, he would block it for Yaya. He was older than Yaya and could resist being hit. Xia Yushan came out again, holding a box of cooling oil in her hand. When she was a child, her mother would apply this to her when she was bitten by a mosquito, and it would heal in a while. Looking at the mosquito bites on Lu Jingyu's calves, she felt mixed emotions, and couldn't help but think of the scene where Lu Jingyu was ignored just now. Is it itchy? She asked while applying cooling oil to Lu Jingyu. Lu Jingyu was still a little surprised. The stepmother didn't lose her temper and beat her today. There were 4 or 5 big lumps on her calves and arms, and some scratches. There were also many scars. If you don't treat the mosquito bites, scratching will leave scars. Lu Jingyu's arms and legs were bitten by countless mosquitoes. Okay, it's getting late, you should wash and rest early. Xia Yushan got up and went back to their house. Although she felt sorry for Jingyu and wanted to hug her, the original owner's behavior had left a shadow in the hearts of the two children. If she showed too much enthusiasm now, it would make them uncomfortable. Especially Lu Jingfeng, who looked at her with a wary look. At such a young age, his cold eyes made people feel scared. The next morning, when Xia Yushan got up, Lu Jingfeng had already gone to school. She also wanted to be a good wife and stepmother, and make breakfast for Lu Jingfeng. But Lu Jingfeng had to get up very early every day, and her biological clock had not yet adapted to it. Yaya, how about we go to Dad's noodle factory today? Okay. Lu Jingyu replied happily. Since her stepmother came, she has never been to her father's noodle factory again. She was so happy that she forgot what her brother said about not going out alone with her stepmother. Xia Yushan packed up, locked the door, and took Lu Jingyu to Lu Yuting's noodle factory. The noodle factory was at the head of the village, only 3 or 4 miles away. If you walk, it will only take 10 to 20 minutes. However, for the original owner's body, which had not exercised much for nearly a year, Xia Yushan was a little tired. Lu Jingyu was jumping in front, and Xia Yushan couldn't keep up at all. What made her even more embarrassed and annoyed was that she seemed to be rubbing her hips, and her thighs were burning and painful, especially when they were stained with sweat. It was like being sprinkled with chili powder. This kind of pain of rubbing hips while walking, I'm afraid only fat people can understand. Fortunately, they have arrived at the noodle factory. Fat people sweat easily, and her forehead and back are soaked with sweat. Hello uncle, hello aunt. Lu Jingyu greeted the workers in the noodle factory politely. All the workers here are from the village. Only politely greeted. Comrade Xia brought Yeye here, and Director Lu is in the office. As soon as Xia Yushan left with Yeye, people started to talk behind her back. She's probably here to ask for money again. Isn't it? I heard from Comrade Li that he went to deliver meat yesterday and saw her mother from her family. Every time her mother from her family comes, she comes to ask Director Lu for money the next day. Director Lu was badly hurt by his friend, who introduced him to such a lazy girl who only cares about her family. Look at how fat she is. She can hardly walk. Although the discussion was not loud, as the person involved, how could he not feel it? However, Xia Yushan didn't care. After all, the original owner was indeed like that. As soon as Xia Yushan arrived at the door of the office, she heard Lu Yuting getting angry in the office. I've said before that sprouted wheat can't be made into flour, so why do we still need to process it? Director Lu, we have no choice. Since you collected wheat from villagers that didn't meet the moisture standards, the villagers now come to sell wheat that doesn't meet the moisture standards. The factory is too small and can't dry it. In this weather, too much moisture will easily sprout. There is not much good wheat in the factory now, so we can only use sprouted wheat. Lu Yuting frowned. This is indeed a problem. If it continues like this, more and more wheat will sprout. Ahem. Xia Yushan cleared her throat. The people in the office noticed her. Lu Yuting stood up and looked over. Why are you here? Sorry to bother you. Xia Yushan said apologetically. The people in the room who had just talked to Lu Yuting were shocked to see Xia Yushan say this. No one in the factory didn't know Xia Yushan. Every time she came, she would speak loudly. She looked down on everyone and was very arrogant to everyone. Just now, even if Director Lu was talking about something important, she would not say it like now, reminding him and apologizing. She rushed in directly, and drove everyone out without caring about anything else. You go out first, I'll find you later. Lu Yuting said. Yes. After leaving, he closed the door. Lu Jingyu just ran out to play, and did not come with Xia Yushan. Only Xia Yushan and Lu Yuting were left in the office. Facing her so-called husband, Xia Yushan was still a little restrained. After all, she had been single for more than 20 years, and it was her first time to get along with a man, and the first person she met was her husband, so she had not yet adapted. Well, I just heard that the moisture content of wheat did not meet the standard. What's the matter? Xia Yushan asked curiously. Just now, she only heard a general idea. Lu Yuting did not avoid the question with an attitude that the woman did not understand. As a couple, he felt that Xia Yushan also had the right to know about the factory. In his heart, the factory originally had a share for Xia Yushan. Last year, it rained for a month, and the wheat was not easy to dry. I thought it was not easy. I harvested the wheat if it did not meet the moisture standard. When the sun came out, I dried it and it could be used. But I didn't expect that this year, the wheat they sent did not meet the moisture standard. There was too much wheat and the factory was too small. It was impossible to dry it, and the workload for the workers increased. Xia Yushan roughly understood some of it. From the original owner's memory, she also knew something about Lu Yuting. He was in the army like his brother. After his brother died, he also retired and opened such a flour processing factory. He was determined to make Qingyun village rich. After all, Qingyun village was too far away from the urban area, the transportation was not developed, and the development was not started. Compared with other neighboring villages, the economy was much backward. His flour mill did bring considerable benefits to Qingyun village. The conditions in the village are much better than before. His original intention was to serve Qingyun village, but he had never done business before, so he still lacked some tricks. For the same price, wheat with substandard moisture content would weigh more than wheat with standard moisture content. Anyway, they would all be collected. The wheat dried in the sun would not make as much money as wheat with substandard moisture content. Who would be willing to dry wheat to meet the standard? It would be a thankless job. Lu Yuting, I have a way. Chapter 9. Didn't you go out to laugh at me? Lu Yuting raised his eyes and looked at her with some shock and confusion. Xia Yushan said slowly, in fact, I think you should also know that the reason why villagers drag wheat with substandard moisture content to the processing plant for sale is because wheat with substandard moisture content weighs more and sells for more money. Lu Yuting looked at her eyes and looked at her more carefully. In his impression, Xia Yushan was careless and would not analyze problems. Every time she quarreled with him, she was unreasonable and unreasonable. Go on. Lu Yuting really wanted to hear what solution Xia Yushan would have. Xia Yushan asked, "How much is the wheat you bought per pound?" 1.2 cents per pound. Xia Yushan nodded. Although she didn't know the market price, the villagers were willing to drag the wheat to the factory to buy it, which meant that the price Lu Yuting offered was higher than the market price. You can post a notice saying that if the moisture content does not meet the requirements, you will be charged 1.2 cents, and if it meets the requirements, you will be charged 1.25 cents. 5 cents doesn't sound like much, but for 1,000 pounds of wheat, it's almost 5 yuan more. In the 1980s, 5 yuan could buy several pounds of ribs, a big piece of meat, and 5 cents per egg could buy 100 eggs. Although Lu Yuting lacked business experience, he was not stupid. After Xia Yushan said this, he understood the truth. Who would be willing to sell at a low price if they can buy at a high price? For the processing plant, the extra 5 cents of purchase is far less than the loss caused by the unprocessed wheat. Lu Yuting looked at Xia Yushan with a little more inquiry. Xia Yushan felt a little embarrassed to be looked at, and even her heartbeat accelerated a lot. She quickly looked away. By the way, Lu Yuting, I came to you because I have something to tell you. Go ahead. Well, I want to buy a TV. Yesterday, when she saw Jing Yu at the village chief's house, Xia Yushan had already made a decision. Today, she came to Lu Yuting to discuss buying a TV. According to Lu Yuting's financial resources, buying a TV is no problem at all. Lu Yuting's eyes were complicated and disappeared in an instant. Without saying anything, he took the money from the drawer and handed it to Xia Yushan. Here you are. Xia Yushan didn't answer. I think you misunderstood. I didn't ask you for money. I wanted you to go to the city to deliver goods and bring back one. Even if you asked me to buy it, I couldn't move it back. In fact, Xia Yushan knew that Lu Yuting's intention of giving her money was not to think that she would buy a TV. He just used the excuse of buying a TV to ask him for money. It's not that Lu Yuting couldn't afford it because there was no TV at home. There was one at home before, and it was taken back by Zhang Cuifan and others. Later, the original owner asked Lu Yuting to give her money to buy another one on the pretext of buying a TV. As a result, the money Lu Yuting gave was given to her parents' home. This made Xia Yushan have a good impression of Lu Yuting. Yesterday, Zhang Cuifan came to see her, and she didn't believe that Li Fei didn't tell Lu Yuting. But Lu Yuting didn't say anything and gave her the money. Alas, what did the original owner think of such a good man? Lu Yuting's expression was a little surprised. Xia Yushan is really different now. I'm going to deliver goods in the city soon. Do you want to go with me? Xia Yushan was born in the city and is more accustomed to city life. After marrying him, she has been in the countryside, and it is inconvenient to do anything. She has been to the city only a few times this year. She is really wronged. Really? Can we go together? Xia Yushan was a little excited. She was still full of curiosity and freshness about the city in the 1980s. Yeah. Seeing her happy, Lu Yuting's mouth corners also raised slightly. You sit here for a while, I'll go see if they have loaded the goods. I'll go with you, hiss. Xia Yushan just took a step forward, and the pain from her thighs made her frown. It was good that she didn't move just now, so she forgot about the rubbing between her thighs. Now she moves, and the pain is about to come out. It's no wonder that the original owner doesn't like to move. When she was not fat, she was a bit self-destructive when she got married. Later, she became fat and could not move at all. What's wrong with you? Lu Yuting came over and supported her. How could Xia Yushan say that she was rubbing her hips because of fatness? She was extremely embarrassed now. How could she go back if she didn't say it? I was rubbing my hips, she said with a stiff face. She didn't dare to look at Lu Yuting. Lu Yuting must be laughing at him in his heart now. I'll help you sit down first. Lu Yuting helped Xia Yushan sit on the chair. Wait for me, I'll go out for a while. After saying that, Lu Yuting left the office. Lu Yuting must have gone out to laugh at her. Xia Yushan covered her face and now wished she could find a hole to crawl into. Lose weight, no matter what. Soon Lu Yuting came in with a bag of baby body powder. This is for you. Apply a little on the wound, and it won't hurt anymore. Xia Yushan was stunned for a moment, then looked up at him, didn't you go out to laugh at me? Why should I laugh at you? Lu Yuting asked back, with a serious face. Xia Yushan was absent-minded for a moment, and felt her heartbeat speed up again. Do you need my help? No, I can do it myself. Xia Yushan refused immediately. Although it was on the thigh, the location was still very private. Although she came from the 21st century, she was not so open. Lu Yuting did not force it. Okay, then you do it yourself, I'll go out and wait for you. After Lu Yuting went out, he closed the door, and he did not leave, but stood guard at the door. Xia Yushan applied the baby body powder on the affected area, which was very comfortable and cool. I have to say that things from the 1980s are good. The effect was immediate. After applying it, there was no friction pain when walking. The door opened, and Lu Yuting looked back. How is it? Are there more? Yeah. Xia Yushan nodded, and she was no longer embarrassed. How did you get this? She handed over the baby body powder. Lu Yuting, the workers in the eldest son have a heavy workload, and they will get hurt by friction when they sweat, so I prepared this. This man looks rough, but he is very considerate. In the 1980s, there were too few people who could drive, and the factory had a lot of shipments, so there were not enough drivers. Many times, Lu Yuting delivered the goods himself. Xia Yushan and Lu Jingyu sat in the co-pilot seat. Lu Jingyu was very happy to know that they were going to the city. After Lu Yuting got in the car, he lit a cigarette. This was his habit. Smoking a cigarette while driving can refresh you. The car started, he held the steering wheel with both hands, and the index and middle fingers of his right hand held the cigarette. The smoke just floated towards Xia Yushan. She coughed because of the choking. She couldn't stand the smell of the smoke. Before she could speak, Lu Yuting saw that she was uncomfortable, and quickly put out the cigarette and threw it out of the window. I'm sorry, I'm used to it. It's okay, but it's better not to smoke when I'm with the children. I don't like the smell of this cigarette, and it's not good for children to breathe secondhand smoke. She can't smell the smell of cigarettes, but she doesn't hate people who smoke. She just doesn't like others smoking in front of her. Since the two of them live together, they should accommodate each other. Okay. Lu Yuting didn't think Xia Yushan's request was unreasonable or excessive, and he agreed very readily. Chapter 10. What I want is an apology. Xia Yushan looked at Lu Yuting and wondered again. How could the original owner quarrel with a man as easy to talk to as Lu Yuting? From the side, his facial features were more three-dimensional, and he looked a bit serious when he was silent. His dark skin did not make his appearance less attractive. The old man's vest just showed the muscles on his chest and arms. It must be said that this man looked full of sexual tension from head to toe, which made people's hormones explode. Xia Yushan swallowed her saliva involuntarily. Lu Yuting glanced over. Are you thirsty? Xia Yushan reacted and looked away guiltily. Lu Yuting picked up the water cup next to the chair and handed it to Xia Yushan. Here. Xia Yushan took it, but did not open it. I just washed the cup today, I haven't drunk from it yet. Xia Yushan opened it, took a sip, and handed it to him again. Do you want to drink it? Lu Yuting was slightly stunned. No, you keep it for yourself. There is so much, yeah, and I can't drink it. It's so hot, you can't not drink water. Lu Yuting looked at Xia Yushan unexpectedly. You should know that she disliked him very much before. She said that he was from the countryside and was not clean. She never shared a cup, bowl, and chopsticks with him. And today she took the initiative to hand him water. What? Do you think it's dirty after I drank it? Xia Yushan asked jokingly. No. Lu Yuting took the cup and took a big sip to prove that he didn't mean to dislike her. Xia Yushan was amused by his behavior. After Lu Yuting drank it, he handed the cup back to Xia Yushan. After Xia Yushan took it, she gave Lu Jingyu a sip before screwing the lid on. As soon as she arrived in the city, Xia Yushan couldn't wait to look out the window. In the 1980s, there were few cars and no tall buildings. It looked very simple at first glance, but it made people feel relaxed physically and mentally. Without the smell of car exhaust, their whole air was fresh. Lu Yuting, please drop Jingyu and me off at the door of the supply and marketing cooperative. You can come back to pick us up after delivering the goods. Looking at Xia Yushan's thoughtfulness, Lu Yuting was still a little uncomfortable. You know, she never did this before. When Xia Yushan saw that Lu Yuting didn't speak, she turned her head and looked over, and saw that Lu Yuting was staring at her. What are you looking at me for? Lu Yuting found that he had lost his composure and quickly looked away. Okay, I'll be back soon. Well, then Jingyu and I will go first. Xia Yushan hugged Lu Jingyu and got out of the car. Lu Yuting drove to deliver the goods. The supply and marketing cooperatives in the 1980s were equivalent to today's large shopping malls, with daily necessities, furniture and home appliances. Xia Yushan walked in holding Lu Jingyue's hand. Children are curious about new things. As soon as she entered the supply and marketing cooperative, Lu Jingyu looked around. Then her eyes stopped in front of a beautiful skirt. Do you like it? Lu Jingyu nodded vigorously. She had seen the little sister in the village wearing it, and it was very beautiful. Xia Yushan walked over holding her hand. But will her stepmother buy it for her? Please take down that skirt, we need to try it on. Lu Jingyu was slightly startled and looked at Xia Yushan. Is her stepmother going to buy her a beautiful skirt? The salesperson glanced at Xia Yushan and saw that Xia Yushan was wearing a loose printed shirt and cotton and linen pants. The color of the clothes and pants had been washed out. Lu Jingyu was even more worried, her clothes were washed white. The salesperson pursed his lips in disdain and said unhappily, Do you want to buy it? If not, you can't try it on. It's not easy to sell if it's dirty. In the 1980s, salespeople were not like waiters today. At that time, salespeople had a stable job, high salary, and comfortable, which was a job that everyone envied. As a result, they looked down on others and had a very poor service attitude. If you don't give it to me to try, how can I know if it fits and whether I want to buy it? Seeing Xia Yushan retort, the salesperson became even more impatient. If you don't buy it, how can I sell it if it gets dirty? Finally, he muttered in a low voice with great disdain, People from the countryside are troublesome and dirty. Par. Xia Yushan slapped the wooden cabinet heavily. Lu Jingyu on the side was startled. Is the stepmother going crazy again? The salesperson was also startled. People around also looked at her. What's wrong with rural people? Isn't what you eat and use the result of rural people's hard work? Don't count 3 generations back, count 2 generations back. Isn't your family from the countryside? The original owner had a loud voice. Xia Yushan only raised her voice a little, and their voice was very loud. She did it on purpose, just to attract the attention of people around her. She continued, Also, you said we are dirty, how do you know we are dirty? Or are you looking at us rural people with tinted glasses? Most of the people who came to the market were rural people. They came once and bought everything they wanted. This undoubtedly offended all rural people. Rural people have always been looked down upon in the city, and over time, they themselves have gradually become humble. Xia Yushan's words hit everyone's sore spot. That's right, what's wrong with us rural people? If you look down on us rural people so much, then don't eat the food we grow. The older sister next to him also became indignant, and it was obvious that she had suffered a lot in the city. Someone started the argument, and the quarrel started. The salesperson had never seen such a scene before, and she panicked. She was panicked, but she looked down on rural people in her heart, and she was not willing to be outdone. I tell you, don't make a scene here, be careful, I will call the police and arrest you. Many people were scared when they heard that they were going to call the police. We haven't broken the law. We just want to ask if we are from the countryside, so we should treat them differently. What can the police do? When Xia Yushan said this, people were emboldened again. I heard that you can complain to the supply and marketing cooperative now. I want to ask your person in charge whether rural people should be treated differently. When the salesperson heard this, his face changed. Now there are many individual businesses, and the business of the supply and marketing cooperative is getting worse and worse. In addition, the service attitude of the supply and marketing cooperative is not good, so many people are no longer willing to come to the supply and marketing cooperative to buy things. Most of the people who come here are rural people. One is to be cheap, and the other is to be convenient. You can buy anything here. In order to attract business, the supply and marketing cooperative also set up a complaint department. However, rural people think they are inferior to others, so how can they complain? And the salesperson's cognition has not changed yet, and he still doesn't take rural people seriously. The salesperson didn't expect that he would kick the iron plate today. If he was really complained, being scolded would be a small matter, but losing his job would be a big deal. Okay, I didn't say you can't try it, just don't get it dirty. The salesperson took the clothes off. Xia Yushan didn't reach out to take it. Her attitude was tough, but her tone was very calm. What I want is an apology. Don't go too far. The salesperson scolded. How could she apologize to a rural person? Chapter 11. Jealousy makes people unrecognizable. You insulted me for being dirty, shouldn't you apologize? Xia Yushan had a reason and a good attitude. Yes, apologize. Apologize. Everyone was indignant for Xia Yushan. The salesperson was a little overwhelmed. What's going on? Another salesperson came over. Xia Yushan. She called out in surprise. Xia Yushan was also startled, looking at the person who came, searching her mind. It's true that enemies meet on a narrow road. Qin Shuya, from the same welfare home as the original owner's mother's family. A playmate who grew up with the original owner. However, the relationship is not very good. And she especially likes to compare with the original owner. Qin Shuya looked Xia Yushan up and down, and said with a smile, Xia Yushan, why are you so fat now? I almost didn't recognize you. Xia Yushan pulled the corner of her mouth, which was considered a response. Chuya, do you know each other? The salesperson pulled Qin Chuya and asked in a low voice. Qin Chuya smiled and said, we grew up in the same welfare home, good friends. It's okay, you go and do your own thing, I'll do it. The salesperson was relieved and left quickly. She didn't want to apologize or make a big deal out of it. Go away, buy whatever you need. This comrade and I are friends, we will talk in private if there is anything. Qin Chuya drove away the onlookers. When everyone heard that they were friends, they also dispersed. Rural people are simple like this, and they don't want to make a big deal out of it. Xia Yushan was about to tell the salesperson to run away. But Qin Chuya stopped her. Okay, give me some face. Xia Yushan glanced at her. Qin Chuya didn't care, and looked Xia Yushan up and down again. I went to study abroad for a year and came back. My mother told me that you are married. And you married an old man with 2 children in the countryside. You were so outstanding at the beginning. Many people in the welfare compound praised you. I didn't expect you to get married so early. Your married life must be very good, otherwise you wouldn't be so fat. Unlike me, I have to work hard for a living and work as a salesperson here. I have no freedom at all. Qin Chuya's mouth was full of concern and envy, but every sentence was full of sarcasm and self-superiority. Xia Yushan chuckled, that's right, if you didn't live a good life, you wouldn't be so wealthy. You don't have to make money, you don't have to do farm work, the children are sensible, and you don't have to worry about them. Apart from eating, you just lie down. Alas, sometimes you are bored. Qin Chuya's face was twisted with anger, but she still said stubbornly, then you are lucky. I don't have the habit of asking others for money. If I ask men for money all the time, men will get annoyed. I can earn money by myself and spend it as I want. Well, now that you say that, my man is really good. He never needs me to ask for money. He always gives it to me on his own initiative and has never been impatient. Xia Yushan said seriously. However, what she said was the truth. Even though the original owner was so unreasonable and helped her mother's family, Lu Yuting didn't complain at all, and gave money every time. Qin Shuya's face turned pale with anger. Xia Yushan ignored her and let Lu Jingyu try the skirt on. It fit her well. Lu Jingyu looked like a little princess when she put on the skirt. She was so cute. It is true that clothes make the man, even children are no exception. Yeah, do you like it? Lu Jingyu looked at the skirt and was very happy. She nodded vigorously, I like it. Chuya, I want this dress. Xia Yushan took out the money from her pocket without even asking the price. Qin Chuya looked at the stack of banknotes in Xia Yushan's hand and was instantly broken. She gritted her teeth and said, Yushan, this skirt is a new model that has just been released, but it is a little expensive. It costs 5 yuan. It's okay, as long as the child likes it. Xia Yushan took out a 5 yuan bill and handed it over. It feels so good to be a rich lady. She never dreamed that one day she would be able to be generous with 100 yuan. Qin Chuya was so angry that her chest rose and fell violently, and her little face was greener than the leaves of vegetables. Xia Yushan not only bought a skirt for Lu Jingyu, but also picked out 2 sets of clothes for Lu Jingfeng. Lu Jingfeng's clothes no longer fit him, and his pants were almost 3/4 pants. She also estimated Lu Jingfeng's height and weight, which was about the same. After buying clothes, she also bought some daily necessities and candies. There were children at home, so she put some snacks at home to satisfy their cravings occasionally. What other children have, their children must have too. Qin Chuya watched Xia Yushan buy things worth nearly 20 or 30 yuan without blinking. Jealousy can change a person's face, and it was fully displayed on her face at this moment. Yushan. Lu Yuting, who had returned from delivering the goods, strode over. Qin Chuya's eyes almost popped out when she saw Lu Yuting. Yushan, is this your husband? Isn't it said to be a fat old man with big ears? Lu Yuting's eyes fell on Qin Chuya. Qin Chuya's face turned red, and she quickly introduced herself. Hello, Yushan and I are from the same welfare compound, and we grew up together. My name is Qin Chuya. Comrade Qin, hello. Lu Yuting responded politely. Then his eyes returned to Xia Yushan. Have you finished shopping? Before Xia Yushan spoke, Qin Chuya hurriedly said, Yushan bought a lot of things today. It's a good thing you came, otherwise she couldn't take them back alone. What did she buy? Lu Yuting asked curiously. Qin Chuya's mouth curled up a smug smile. Who doesn't care about money? Xia Yushan is so wasteful, who knows how she will be scolded. Xia Yushan, I bought 2 sets of clothes for Jingyu and Jingfeng, and some daily necessities, snacks and candies. Didn't you buy 2 sets of clothes for yourself? Lu Yuting asked. Qin Chuya was stunned. Shouldn't we scold Xia Yushan for being a spendthrift? Xia Yushan smiled and said, I'm losing weight. It's a waste to buy it now. I won't be able to wear it when I lose weight. She wants to buy beautiful little skirts to wear after she loses weight. Although Lu Yuting didn't quite understand why Xia Yushan suddenly wanted to lose weight, he showed respect and didn't say much. By the way, I haven't watched TV yet. Let's go together. You know more about home appliances than I do. Okay. Lu Yuting took the things that Xia Yushan bought on the counter and took the initiative to do the physical work. Xia Yushan didn't say anything polite to him. With the original owner's current body, it was hard for her to walk, not to mention carrying a lot of bags. She still wants to buy a TV. Qin Chuya was shocked and angry. How could Xia Yushan be so lucky to find such a rich and good-tempered man? Xia Yushan and Lu Yuting went to the home appliance area to pick a TV, and they picked a color TV. This was just produced, and there are not many in the whole country. For example, the supply and marketing cooperatives currently have only 2 or 3 on sale. It is expensive, and no one even wants to look at it. Seeing that Lu Yuting and Xia Yushan bought one, everyone cast curious and envious eyes. Qin Chuya was defeated again. Because there were many things, and considering Xia Yushan's thigh injury, Lu Yuting drove the truck back home directly. Lu Jingfeng had already returned from school. Seeing that Jingyu and stepmother were not there, he was so anxious that he dropped his school bag and went out to look for them. I saw my father driving the truck back with stepmother Yaya. Brother! Brother! Lu Jingyu ran towards Lu Jingfeng in a flowery skirt. Lu Jingfeng was stunned for a moment, and he didn't dare to recognize him. Chapter 12. Getting along is easy. Yaya looks so pretty in her flowery dress. Brother, am I pretty today? Lu Jingyu posed with a happy smile on her face and never looked down. Lu Jingfeng blankly replied, pretty. Xia Yushan got out of the car and came over with something in her hand, and Lu Yuting was holding a TV behind her. Today, Yaya not only bought beautiful clothes, but also bought a TV at home. This is yours, go try it on, I think the size should be suitable. Xia Yushan handed over the clothes. Lu Jingfeng looked up at her in disbelief, buy it for me. Before, the stepmother would even deduct money from them for food. Even if he bought a pencil, he would secretly save money to buy it. The stepmother would never spend a penny on him and Yaya. Now she not only bought a skirt for Yaya, but also bought new clothes for him. If it's not for you, I can't wear it. Xia Yushan motioned Lu Jingfeng to take it. Lu Jingfeng reached out and took the clothes tremblingly. Since his grandparents passed away, he has never worn new clothes. He knew that his father was busy with work, and he would never bother him. He would wear old clothes if they were wearable. But he was a child after all, and there was no child who didn't like new clothes. Although he didn't know why his stepmother was so nice to him and Yaya all of a sudden, and what her purpose was, he couldn't wait to take them to the room to try them on. When he put on the new clothes, he felt happy. He, who didn't like to smile, smiled slightly at this moment. Brother, you look really good in new clothes. Lu Jingyu was circling around Lu Jingfeng. Xia Yushan leaned against the door and nodded with satisfaction. Well, it fits well. It seems that her eyes are quite accurate. Lu Jingfeng looked back, a little embarrassed and a little unconfident. After looking at Xia Yushan, he immediately lowered his head. New clothes should be washed before they can be worn again. After you try them on, change them. After Xia Yushan finished speaking, she went to the main room to see how Lu Yuting had installed the TV. In the 1980s, even color TVs were much simpler. You could watch them with an antenna. Unlike today, wireless ones require VIP and Super VIP. Lu Yuting has already installed them, and the antennas are also installed. Choosing channels, but the picture flickers and the signal looks very unstable. Lu Yuting tried to adjust the position of the antenna, but the effect was not satisfactory. The screen still jumped up and down. Xia Yushan came over, and reflexively, she stretched out her hand and used a little force to tap the TV. It's done. Lu Yuting looked at her with doubts. Xia Yushan's mouth twitched. Sure enough, whether it was the 1980s or the 1990s, the TV reception was not good, and it would be fine if you tapped it. Lu Jingfeng changed clothes before Lu Jingyu and walked out of the room. Lu Jingyu was anxious to watch TV, so she hurried out of the room. A cartoon was playing at this time. Lu Jingyu immediately moved a chair and sat in front of the TV. Lu Jingfeng was also attracted by the TV. Xia Yushan looked at Lu Yuting and asked, "Are you going back to the factory?" "No, just drive the car there tomorrow morning. Then I'll go cook." "I'll help you." Lu Yuting followed Xia Yushan into the kitchen. There was still a little bit of meat left from the meat Li Fei sent yesterday. Xia Yushan went to get the meat, but Lu Yuting got it before her. Xia Yushan raised her eyes and met Lu Yuting's face. Dark skin, sharp edges and corners, and regular features. At such a close distance, she could smell the faint smell of tobacco on him. It was not the kind of pungent smell of tobacco, but it smelled good. This smell, rushing into her nose, stimulated every nerve in her. "Then help me wash and cut it." Xia Yushan quickly moved away. She found that her heartbeat was beating uncontrollably. Her breathing became even more rapid, and she felt better only after she had moved away from him. Okay. Lu Yuting took the meat to the pool outside the house to wash it. Xia Yushan took a deep breath, exhaled slowly, adjusted herself, and began to cook. When she was a child, she cooked in a big pot at home, and she operated it skillfully based on her memory. Today, Lu Yuting was here, so she cooked more. Lu Yuting brought the washed meat in and cut it into slices. He was very skilled, and it seemed that he often cooked. With the cooperation of the two, the food was quickly prepared and served. Lu Jingfeng was very observant. When he saw his father and stepmother clearing the table for dinner, he immediately picked up the leftovers. Lu Jingyu was also very obedient. She ran to help serve the food without being called. No need to sneak to Chugu's house to watch TV every night. After dinner, Lu Jingyu stayed in front of the TV. Even if it was an advertisement, she watched it carefully. Lu Jingfeng was older and more sensible after all, so he helped clean up after dinner. But he was still afraid and wary of Xia Yushan. After Xia Yushan finished cleaning up, she habitually went to the yard for a walk to digest the food. Although she didn't eat much to lose weight, she still had to move around after a meal. Lu Yuting was standing in the yard, and the darkness scared her. Lu Yuting had a cigarette in his mouth. When he saw her coming, he took a puff and exhaled the smoke slowly. "I'll smoke one and then go in." "It's okay, as long as you don't smoke in front of me and the children." Xia Yushan would not stop him from smoking. Smoking is his right. Lu Yuting nodded. "Okay, I'll pay attention." The sound of the cricket reminded Xia Yushan of something. "Lu Yuting, are you tired today?" Lu Yuting was slightly stunned. Although he didn't know what she was going to do, he still responded, "No." "Wait for me." Xia Yushan hurried into their house. When she came out, she had a pair of tongs and a plastic bucket in her hand. "Lu Yuting, let's go catch eels. This season is the season for catching eels." When she was a child, she often followed her father to catch eels. The fields and ditches were full of eels, loaches, and even fish. The ecological environment has not been destroyed. As long as it rains, the ditches are full of fish. When I grew up, I never saw that scene again. Even if I used a cage to catch eels, it was difficult to catch one in a night. She is now in the 1980s when the ecology was the best. Aren't there endless eels, loaches and fish in the fields and ditches? Because there are so many eels, they are not valuable. Those who like to eat them will catch a few at night and cook them at home. Those who don't like to eat them will think that this thing is a disaster because it digs holes and prevents the rice fields from retaining water. Catch eels. Liu Yuting was quite surprised. In his memory, Xia Yushan was a person who would lie down after eating, and was unwilling to take a step, let alone catch eels. Let's go. Xia Yushan stepped forward and took Liu Yuting's hand and walked out. She had thought about it before, but she didn't dare to go out alone at night. Today, Liu Yuting happened to be at home. Liu Yuting looked at Xia Yushan holding his hand, and his heart was pulled for a moment. Looking at the lively Xia Yushan in front of him, his eyes were more scrutinizing. Xia Yushan today is indeed very different from Xia Yushan before. Getting along with Xia Yushan now, he will not feel depressed like before, but relaxed and happy. Chapter 13. Liu Yuting is a real straight man. Xia Yushan dragged Liu Yuting to the field. As she expected, there were eels in the rice field. The flashlight could clearly illuminate them. Liu Yuting, look, there are eels there. Xia Yushan saw one and was quite excited. She took the tongs and went to grab it. As a result, she did not use the tongs to grab the eel. She had no skills at all. The eel ran away before the tongs came over. Oh. She was quite frustrated. Let me try. Liu Yuting said. Xia Yushan quickly handed him the tongs. Liu Yuting found an eel with the help of the flashlight. He walked lightly and quietly went over. He quickly grabbed the eel's head and picked it up. Liu Yuting, you are great. Xia Yushan quickly used a bucket to catch it. Liu Yuting put the eel in the bucket and started looking for the next target. Xia Yushan couldn't catch it, but she tried hard to help find it. The two of them worked together and caught more than a dozen in a short while. Liu Yuting, that's enough, let's go back. Okay. Xia Yushan looked at the eels in the bucket and smiled. Looking at the eels made her experience the joy of childhood again. Liu Yuting, try to come back for dinner tomorrow night. I'll make eel hot pot. Good things, of course, she wanted to share with her family. Liu Yuting frowned slightly. I have to see the situation tomorrow night. You can eat with Jingfeng and Jingyu first when you are done. You don't have to wait for me. Okay. Although Xia Yushan still felt a little regretful, she didn't say much. Liu Yuting set his sights on her, with a little more inquiry in his eyes. By the way, I see that your factory has a lot of scales. Do you have any extra ones? I need one. Can you give me one to use? I'll return it later. After all, they had only known each other for a short time, and Xia Yushan still felt a little embarrassed to ask for something. But since she had already started losing weight, she had to know her weight at all times. Knowing whether she had lost weight would give her more motivation to lose weight. This morning, she went to the flour mill and saw several in Liu Yuting's office. She wanted to talk about it at that time, but she was too embarrassed to say it. Now that there were only two of them, she took this opportunity to speak. How big do you want? Liu Yuting asked. Xia Yushan hurriedly said, just, anything under 100 kilograms is fine. Okay, I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. Liu Yuting agreed. Seeing that he agreed so readily and didn't ask her what the scale was for, Xia Yushan was stunned. Liu Yuting raised his eyes and looked at her. If you need anything in the future, you can tell me directly. We are husband and wife, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. I hope that we can be frank about everything. Yeah. Xia Yushan nodded woodenly. When she raised her eyes happened to meet his eyes. Her heart was suddenly hit by something, and the calm heart lake was stirred up. Even her face was red and a little hot. She knew that Liu Yuting had always been trying to maintain this family. It can be seen from the fact that he never treated the original owner harshly. The original owner was domineering and gave unconditional aid to her mother's family. Liu Yuting has not said a word until now. Take the meat for dinner for example. He asked Li Fei to take back the meat, so he knew how much there was. But when dinner was cooked, there was only a little bit left, and he didn't ask a question. Not even a word like, there is only a little meat left. When they got home, Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu were already asleep. Xia Yushan took the eels she caught to the kitchen and put a lid on the bucket to prevent them from running out. After finishing, she went to the room to get her pajamas and took a shower. After running around all day, she was sweating and smelled bad. She was used to living alone, and Liu Yuting was rarely at home. She rushed into the bathroom with her clothes. Liu Yuting had just taken off his old man's vest. Xia Yushan was stunned, especially when she saw Liu Yuting's muscular body. He looks thin when dressed, but has muscles when undressed. This is him. This muscular body must feel good to touch. How happy it would be to sleep next to him and hug him. The naked eyes, full of desire, are not concealed at all. Do you want to wash first? Xia Yushan stared at him blankly, and couldn't help but murmured, I want to wash together. After she finished speaking, she reacted and her face flushed. Oh my god, how could I say it out loud? Yes. I'm sorry, I'm used to it. You wash first. Xia Yushan ran out with her clothes. Liu Yuting looked at her embarrassed appearance, his mouth corners slightly raised, and a faint smile with doting was faintly hooked. Xia Yushan sat on the sofa in the main room with her pajamas in her arms, and her mind was full of the scene of Liu Yuting without clothes. She quickly shook her head and threw the picture out. She was really single for a long time, and she was so greedy after just one look. You go wash. Liu Yuting came out wiping his hair. Xia Yushan nodded, and went into the bathroom with her clothes in her arms, and she didn't even dare to look at Liu Yuting. She was really afraid that she would rush to pounce on Liu Yuting and eat him up. With the original owner's physique, it is completely possible. Xia Yushan took a bath and washed her hair casually. She had washed her hair yesterday. Fatty people are like this. Not only do they sweat easily, but their hair is also oily. It is so oily after washing it every day. She came out of the shower and went back to her room. She saw Liu Yuting looking for clothes in the closet in the room. When he saw her come in, he hurriedly said, I'll find some clothes and go out. Yeah. Xia Yushan nodded. Then hesitantly said, Jingyu, it seems that he went to sleep in the same room with his brother. Jingyu had already gone back to sleep in the small bed, so there was no reason for her to let Liu Yuting sleep on the sofa. Just like Liu Yuting said, they are now husband and wife. Don't worry, I won't sleep with you without your consent. I'll sleep on the sofa in the living room. R. Xia Yushan didn't react for a while. Did he misunderstand something? You should go to bed early. Liu Yuting took the clothes and went out. Xia Yushan let out a long sigh of relief. It must be said that Liu Yuting is a real straight man. When they first got married, the original owner really disliked Liu Yuting. After all, Liu Yuting worked in the noodle factory every day, and his body was covered with white flour, which looked a bit dirty. She didn't let Liu Yuting share a room with her. But later, she had accepted Liu Yuting and hinted Liu Yuting to go back to his room several times. Now she knew that it was not that Liu Yuting didn't want to go back to his room, but that he didn't understand the original owner's meaning at all. Just now, she said that Jingyu went to share a room with her brother. Didn't he know to say, then I can only sleep here? Wasn't this a matter of course? As a result, he had to sleep on the sofa in the main room. Girls are always shy, how can they say such things? Forget it, let's do it today. She was afraid that she would be too enthusiastic and scare others. This kind of thing can't be rushed, let's do it next time. She will explain it more clearly next time. Chapter 14 Visiting. Qin Chuya returned home, furious. She slammed the lunch bag and lunchbox onto the table. Mother Qin came out with food in hand. What happened? You got so angry right after you came back. Mom, didn't you say that Xia Yushan married and moved to the countryside and became a stepmother to 2 children? Qin Chuya asked angrily. Mother Qin was confused. Yes, why did you mention her suddenly? I ran into her at the supply and marketing cooperative today. She looked so proud and impressive. She bought a lot of things without blinking an eye. She also bought a color TV that our supply and marketing cooperative just got. That one cost 120 yuan. Qin Chuya became more and more angry as she spoke. You bought a lot of things, including a color TV. That's impossible. Mother Qin also said. Yushan's mother went to Yushan's house yesterday to ask for money, but she didn't get anything. She only brought back some spare ribs. Yushan's mother scolded Yushan as she walked away. She was so angry that everyone in the hospital knew about it. It's a good thing your brother didn't like her at the beginning, otherwise our family would have been drained of blood by their family. Mother Qin's tone was full of relief. They were from the same compound, and the original owner was about the same age as Qin Yushan. They went to school together, and the original owner was very close to Qin Yushan. She did like him, but she didn't say it out loud. The Qin family even pretended to be dead and deliberately made excuses to prevent Qin Yushan from having too much contact with the original owner. He was afraid that if the two of them got together, they would be sucked dry by the Xia family. After Qin Yushan graduated from high school, the Qin family sent him to another place to learn how to drive, and he has not returned yet. The Qin family didn't feel relieved until Xia Yushan got married. Qin Shuya seemed to have thought of something, and her anger suddenly subsided. She pulled Qin's mother and said, "Mom, when you go to work tomorrow and see Yushan's mother, tell her about what I saw Yushan at the supply and marketing cooperative." What's the point of telling her? If she knew, she would show off in front of me, which would be annoying. Mother Qin was displeased. On the surface, the relationship between the two families is okay, but secretly they dislike each other. Qin Shuyar pulled her mother and begged her coquettishly. Qin's mother couldn't bear it anymore and agreed. Qin Shuyar instantly revealed a smug smile. "Xia Yushan, you don't deserve to live better than me. It's a hot summer day and it rains whenever it wants." The sky was still full of stars at night, but it started to rain heavily early in the morning. It was inconvenient because of the rain, so Lu Yuting happened to drive the truck from the factory back and drove Lu Jingfeng to school. There is nothing to do on rainy days. In the countryside, when people cannot go out to work on the farm, they visit each other's homes and chat. Especially the elderly who bring their grandchildren, or bring their children, to visit one house or another and chat about family matters. The children gathered together and had fun. Lu Jingyu sat on the doorstep and played by herself. The original owner had a bad relationship with her neighbors, and she didn't allow Jingyu to go out and play. Xia Yushan came out of the room with a big umbrella. "Jingyu, do you want to go out and play?" Lu Jingyu was stunned at first, then nodded expectantly, "Yeah. Here, I'll give you a candy." Xia Yushan took out a candy from her pocket and handed it to Lu Jingyu. Lu Jingyu took it happily. "Let's go." Xia Yushan opened the umbrella, took Lu Jingyu's hand and went out. The most lively place is undoubtedly the village chief's house. The village chief's home is in the center of the village. It is said that the village chief was chosen as the village chief because he is popular and likable. Plus, the village chief's son Chugu is about the same age as a group of kids in the village who haven't gone to school yet. Children like to play with other children. On this rainy day, adults and children all came to visit the village chief's house. "Sister-in-law Zhang, are you at home?" Xia Yushan came over and greeted the village chief's wife. There were some unpleasant things between the original owner and the two families, but since Xia Yushan took the initiative to say hello, Zhang's sister-in-law also politely responded. In addition, all the wheat in the family was sold to Lu Yuting's noodle factory. "We have to give it to Lu Yuting just to give him face. Yeah, we can't do farm work when it rains." "Where is Comrade Xia taking Yaya?" Yaya said she wanted to come out to play with a local dog. "I was worried about her going out alone in the rain, so I brought her here. I hope I didn't disturb you guys." As she spoke, Xia Yushan had already brought Lu Jingyu in, but she knew her limits and did not enter the house. There was laughter and chatter in the room, and when they heard Xia Yushan's voice, they all leaned out to look. Although they were all married here as daughters-in-law, the original owners never interacted with the villagers. They just knew each other but had little contact. The original owner had a bad temper and a domineering personality. She always had a cold face when she met everyone. Naturally, everyone thought she was difficult to get along with and stayed away from her when they saw her. In addition, the stories of the original owner abusing her children and supporting her mother's family without any principles had already spread in the village. "Everyone is here." Xia Yushan greeted with a smile. After all, Mrs. Zhang is the wife of the village chief, so she always takes the public's face into consideration, so she politely invited him, "Comrade Xia, please come in and sit for a while." "Okay." Xia Yushan agreed readily, then took Lu Jingyu's hand and walked into their house. She greeted everyone present one by one. In person, everyone responded, naturally out of respect for Lu Yuting. Lu Jingyu went out to play with a group of kids along with the local dog. Xia Yushan's appearance made others feel a little uncomfortable at first. After all, the original owner had no contact with them. But as they chatted, they all relaxed and talked about their own things, ignoring Xia Yushan's existence. From farm work in the fields to raising children, Xia Yushan really had no say in the matter. She had never done farm work and didn't know much about it, let alone taking care of children. When are you going to the city? If anyone goes, please help me take my eggs to sell. The child's father is not at home, and I can't let go of the child. I can't get away from him. Sister-in-law Zhang, do you want to sell your eggs? Xia Yushan finally got the conversation going. Zhang's sister-in-law nodded, yes. Why don't you sell it to me? My family doesn't have any chickens now. Jingfeng and Jingyu are both growing up and need nutrition. It's not convenient for me to go to the city. You want to sell it, and I want to buy it. One of the reasons why Xia Yushan came out today was to see if anyone was selling eggs. There were no eggs at home this morning. I didn't expect that Zhang's sister-in-law would take the initiative to bring up this matter. Zhang's sister-in-law forced out an ugly smile. What are you talking about? If you want to eat eggs, take a few back to eat. They are not worth much money. Why are you talking about whether to buy them or not? In rural areas, families who have good relationships with each other often visit each other, and their property is their own, so there is no need to spend money. Especially eggs, they are only 1 or 2 cents each and are not worth much. But for Zhang's sister-in-law, Xia Yushan came with a purpose. He didn't visit before, but now he comes and says he wants to buy eggs. Who knows if he will pay or not? Sister-in-law Zhang, please don't say that. Although eggs are not valuable, they are also earned by your hard work. How can I take them for free? Besides, I need them for a long time. I can't come to your house every day to get eggs to eat. Xia Yushan's sensible words surprised Zhang's sister-in-law. You have to know that the previous unpleasantness was caused by the chickens in the house running away and being caught and eaten by her. She went to argue, but was scolded back. Because it was just a chicken, the village chief didn't want to ruin his relationship with Lu Yuting, so he asked his wife to back off. In her eyes, Xia Yushan is a rude person who is unreasonable and likes to take advantage of others. Chapter 15 Changing Impressions. Xia Yushan naturally knew about this from the original owner's memory. To be honest, given her socially anxious personality, she really doesn't want to take this course. The original owner did such shameful things that he was too ashamed to face anyone. Sister-in-law Zhang, I have to apologize for what happened last time. It was my fault. I thought the chicken was my own. My mother came to visit a few days ago, and I found out that my chicken was taken back by her. The one I ate was yours. Xia Yushan did not intentionally push the matter onto Zhang Cuifan. The original owner did think that the chicken was his at first, so he killed it and ate it. What she didn't know was that the only chicken left in her house was taken away by Zhang Cuifan when she came. Xia Yushan took out 5 yuan and handed it to Zhang's sister-in-law. Think of that chicken as something I bought from you. No, I can't accept this money. Zhang's sister-in-law quickly refused. Originally, she was very touched that Xia Yushan apologized sincerely in front of so many people. No, sister-in-law Zhang, you must take this money. If you don't, I can only buy one and send it to you. Seeing that Xia Yushan was so insistent, Zhang's sister-in-law accepted the money. Girl, I misunderstood before. It's just a chicken. It's not a big deal. Xia Yushan's actions not only changed the views of Zhang's sister-in-law, but also others. This girl from the city is quite sensible. Xia Yushan took out another 5 yuan. Sister-in-law Zhang, I'll buy all the eggs you have. Please calculate the market price. This. Zhang's sister-in-law hesitated for a moment and said, well, we can sell them for 2 cents each, 20 cents for 10, so I'll give you 12 for 20 cents. Sister-in-law Zhang, 20 cents for 10 is 20 cents for 10. If I go to the city to buy them, 20 cents won't buy me even 10. And I have to take a bus, which costs money. I'm already getting a bargain. Xia Yushan's words made Zhang's sister-in-law like her even more. In the end, Xia Yushan bought 50 eggs, but Zhang's sister-in-law forced 5 more on her. After this incident, Xia Yushan became one with everyone else. We chatted about family matters for a while. The children who went to school were about to finish school and went back home. Xia Yushan also took Lu Jingyu back. She originally wanted to make eel hot pot, but when she saw the lively eels, Xia Yushan was dumbfounded. She forgot that she didn't know how to kill eels. Since Lu Yuting didn't come back, she had to give up the idea. When she saw the eggs she bought and the flour Lu Yuting brought back from the factory, she had a new idea. Just do it. She took out 5 eggs, beat them all into a bowl, then added an appropriate amount of flour, a small amount of oil, some chopped green onions and salt, and stirred well. Auntie, what are you doing? After spending 2 days together, Lu Jingyu was no longer as afraid of Xia Yushan as before. Feeling that Xia Yushan would not hurt him, he began to try to talk to her actively. Make scallion egg pancakes. Scallion oil egg pancake. Lu Jingyu tilted her head, looking confused. Xia Yushan smiled and said, "You'll know when it gets better." She washed the pot, dried it, then coated the pot with a layer of oil, scooped a spoonful of the flour she had just mixed into the pot, and then fried it slowly over low heat. After one side was set, she turned it over and fried the other side. Soon a scallion omelette is ready. She cut the pancake into 2 and gave half to Lu Jingyu. Try it and see if it tastes good. Lu Jingyu swallowed and took it. She smelled the fragrance when it was just being fried. But I don't dare to eat it. My brother said that we can't just eat anything that belongs to my aunt. Xia Yushan knew what the little girl was thinking, so she took a bite and looked very happy. It's delicious. Lu Jingyu was drooling as she watched, and she couldn't help but take a big bite. It's delicious, so delicious. I've never eaten such delicious pancakes. Xia Yushan was amused by Lu Jingyu's words. Silly girl, it's an omelette. Oven pancake, delicious, so delicious. Lu Jingyu finished the scallion egg pancake in just 2 bites. Still feeling unsatisfied, he looked at Xia Yushan eagerly. His fear of Xia Yushan had not yet been eliminated, and he did not dare to ask for it again. Xia Yushan saw what she was thinking and asked with a smile, "Do you still want to eat?" "Yeah." Lu Jingyu nodded. "Wait." Xia Yushan made the remaining batter into pancakes. After they were all branded, she gave one to Lu Jingyu. After Lu Jingyu took it, she looked at the scallion oil egg pancake and swallowed her saliva, but did not eat it. "Why don't you eat any more?" Xia Yushan asked. "Leave it for my brother." Lu Jingyu looked at the scallion oil egg pancake and wanted to eat it very much, but she still resisted the urge to eat it. Such delicious food, she must let her brother try it too. "Eat it, I made so much, brother has it." As soon as the words fell, Lu Yuting and Lu Jingfeng walked into their house together. Xia Yushan was slightly surprised. "You came back so early today." "Well, it's raining today, nothing to do." "Dad, brother, have some omelettes." Lu Jingyu walked up to Lu Yuting and Lu Jingfeng holding a scallion omelette. "The egg pancakes made by auntie are delicious." "Omelette." Lu Yuting looked at Xia Yushan. Xia Yushan said a little embarrassedly, "I just did it because I was bored." She took one for Lu Yuting and Lu Jingfeng respectively. Lawrence Lu took it and took a bite. "Made of flour and eggs?" "Yeah." Xia Yushan nodded. "You can actually do this." Lu Yuting was surprised. He didn't know that eggs and flour could make such delicious food. When you take a bite, the flour blends into the eggs, making it soft and tender. After adding chopped green onions, the aroma of the chopped green onions not only does not steal the taste of the omelette, but also adds to the flavor of the green onions. When Lu Jingfeng saw Lu Yuting eating it, he also tried to take a bite, which made him feel very curious. "The food my stepmother cooks is average. I can't say it's delicious, but it's not bad either." But I didn't expect the pancake to be so delicious. His stepmother did look a little different, and he couldn't help but look at her a few more times. Xia Yushan responded, "This is actually quite simple. She often makes breakfast for convenience." But in the 1980s, the amount of eggs needed to make scallion omelette was a bit too much, and selling eggs for money seemed like a luxury. "I brought back the scale you asked for." It was only after Lu Yuting's reminder that Xia Yushan noticed the scale on the ground. She almost forgot something, but Lu Yuting actually remembered it and brought it back to her. "How did you get it back?" Xia Yushan was curious. Although the scale was not big, it still weighed about 30 or 40 kilograms. She hadn't heard the sound of the truck just now. "It's not heavy. I carried it back." Lu Yuting said it lightly, as if it was just a pound of potatoes. "Thanks." She couldn't help but get on the scale and weigh herself. "Before I weighed myself, I was anxious, but after I weighed myself, my anxious heart finally died." She estimated the original owner's weight, but when she looked at the number on the scale, she felt numb. 100. Chapter 16, Not an Appearance Association. 170 kilograms. Liu Yuting read out the number on the scale. He looked calm and composed. It's okay, it's not too heavy. The corners of Xia Yushan's mouth twitched. This Liu Yuting is really not from an outside association. If she hadn't traveled through time, the original owner could have weighed 200 kilograms. The original owner was estimated to be about 1.65 meters tall. If she wanted to lose weight to the standard weight, she would have to lose 50 kilograms. When she thought about this number, her eyes went dark. It doesn't matter, it's easier to reduce a large base. Soon she perked up. Liu Yuting looked at her expression, which changed from sad to happy, and couldn't figure out what she was thinking at the moment. After Xia Yushan cheered up, she saw Liu Yuting had already entered the kitchen. She followed him in and saw Liu Yuting already quietly processing the eels. The more she looked at the man in front of her, the happier she became. Few men can have lively eyes. Not to mention the 1980s, when ideas were still semi-feudal and men were chauvinistic. No matter how useless a man is, in the eyes of a man, housework like washing clothes and cooking are women's work. No matter how tired this woman is outside, she still has to do laundry, cook and clean when she comes home. Men won't even enter the kitchen. On the other hand, Liu Yuting can cook and do other things within his ability, and he never thinks that these are things he should not do as a man. I'll go steam the rice. Xia Yushan went to wash rice and steam it. Although she made an omelette, Liu Yuting had been doing physical work outside, so he felt more satisfied with rice. After steaming the rice, she peeled some garlic and planned to make a garlic eel hot pot. Liu Yuting brought the processed eel. Xia Yushan took a look and said, "Please help me cut it into small pieces as long as my little finger." Okay. Liu Yuting took the processed eel and cut it into pieces. After cutting the vegetables, he did not sit idle and went to the stove to add firewood. Having someone to help saves a lot of time, and Xia Yushan finished it in a short while. Then she stir-fried some vegetables. During the weight loss period, green vegetables are essential, otherwise you will suffer from severe constipation. As a fish, eel's protein content is second only to shrimp. After eating half an omelette, Xia Yushan didn't ask for any more rice. I picked up some vegetables and eel. You eat so little, can your body handle it? Liu Yuting asked. What I take in is nutritious, and I eat quite a bit, too. You've never seen a true fast to lose weight. Xia Yushan does not agree with those people online who rely on fasting to lose weight. Fasting to lose weight is not only harmful to your body, but also causes weight gain to rebound quickly. Because you can't live your whole life drinking only water without eating rice. Her diet is completely a healthy way to lose weight. When she was losing weight, she paid a nutritionist to help her with her diet. Later, after a long time, she was able to match her clothes reasonably by herself. In fact, it means less oil and salt, and more protein and vitamins. Moreover, she can stick to this way of eating. Over time, her eating habits will naturally change. When you lose weight, you will find that you will naturally reject the oily and sweet things you like. This is also the reason why it is not so easy to gain weight back if you lose weight through a reasonable diet. It just takes longer than relying solely on fasting. Liu Yuting expressed his respect and said nothing more. Although Xia Yushan eats less, she eats slowly. To lose weight, one must chew food slowly. She almost finished the meal with Liu Yuting and the others. Liu Yuting put down his chopsticks, looked at Xia Yushan and said, "The noodle factory needs to introduce new equipment, and I may need to go out of town to study for 3 months. When are we going?" Xia Yushan asked. The factory is currently in need of a truck driver. A friend introduced me to one. He is out of town and said he would report to the factory after he returns in 2 or 3 days. When he arrives, I will show him around and familiarize him with the route before we go. Currently, most of the goods in the factory are delivered by Liu Yuting himself, which is why he is busy. In the 1980s, drivers were a scarce commodity, which is why their salaries were high. But even if the salary is high, it is not easy to recruit people. He asked a friend to introduce one to him. Xia Yushan nodded and agreed happily. "Don't worry, I will take good care of Jingfeng and Jingyu." Liu Yuting looked at her with a more scrutinizing look in his eyes. A month ago, he also mentioned the idea of going out to study, and Xia Yushan reacted very strongly at that time. They were noisy at home, and even smashed the dishes. Since no truck driver was found, the matter was shelved. Xia Yushan knew what he was thinking and smiled. You are doing this for the factory and for our little family. How can I not support you? It was my fault before. I only cared about myself and didn't think too much about it. In fact, Xia Yushan could understand the original owner's behavior. After all, in this era, women regard men as their gods. A man who is away from home all year round and does not have a child of his own will inevitably feel insecure. She is a new age woman, and her ideas are naturally different from those of the original owner. She will not put all her hopes on a man, revolve around him only and lose herself. She has her own life. Women can also start their own business. In the 1980s, gold was everywhere. As long as you found the right target, making your first pot of gold was definitely not a problem. Her self-examination startled Lu Yuting slightly, and the look in his eyes when he looked at her was even more inquiring. Xia Yushan has indeed changed a lot now. She is completely different from the unreasonable Xia Yushan before. After Lu Jingyu finished her meal, she went to watch TV and didn't hear what Lu Yuting and Xia Yushan were talking about. Ever since I got a TV, I have been obsessed with it. However, for the sake of her eyes, Xia Yushan still controlled her and she could only watch for an hour after dinner every day. This hour happened to be the time for cartoons. As soon as Lu Jingyu finished her meal, she went to watch TV. She was very well behaved and turned off the TV after watching for an hour without Xia Yushan reminding her. Although Lu Jingfeng was doing his homework nearby, he was listening to the two people talking attentively. Knowing that his father was going out of town and might not come back for 2 or 3 months, his little brows were furrowed into a shape. Now that dad is not around, stepmother has no worries. Will she beat and scold him and Yaya like before? He doesn't care. Most of the time, he is at school. But Yaya is different. She is with her stepmother every day. Thinking of what he had heard before, such a conversation between his stepmother and the bad grandmother, about sending them to an orphanage, his face suddenly turned ugly. Before, my father said he wanted to go away to study in another place, but my stepmother refused to agree. Now that he agreed so readily, he couldn't be really planning to send him and Yaya to an orphanage while their father is not at home. He looked at Lawrence Liu and opened his mouth, wanting his father to stay and not go to study abroad. But in the end, I couldn't open my mouth. Neither he nor Yaya are his father's children, but his father still works so hard to take care of them and earn money for his studies. If he asked his father to stay, wouldn't he be very ignorant? Chapter 17 What's Coming is Coming. Xia Yushan, you stinky girl, come out here. Zhang Cuifen's angry curses were heard outside the door. The voice was so loud that the whole Qingyun village could hear it. When everyone finished their morning work and came back to have breakfast, they heard the sound and the neighbors all stood at their doorsteps, sticking their heads out to look towards Xia Yushan's house. Although there is a small courtyard in front of the door, it is also beautiful when looking inside from the middle of the road. Xia Yushan curled her lower lip. What was supposed to come had come. She knew Zhang Cuifen would come. Qin Chuya always liked to compare with the original owner. She bought so many things that day, including a color TV. Everyone in the welfare compound knows that the Xia family is a family of vampires who specialize in sucking the blood of daughters. How could Qin Chuya not tell Zhang Cuifen about her lavish spending? If it hadn't rained yesterday, I'm afraid Zhang Cuifen would have come to kill us yesterday. When Lu Jingyu heard Zhang Cuifen's voice, she shuddered with fear. Jingyu, stay in your room. There are cookies and candies in the snack box in your room. Remember to eat less and be careful of tooth decay. After leaving some words, Xia Yushan walked out of the main door. Zhang Cuifen stood at the gate of the yard with her hands on her hips. When she saw Xia Yushan coming out, her anger suddenly disappeared. She tilted her body and sat down on the ground. He slapped his thighs with both hands and cried miserably. Why is my life so miserable? I gave birth to such an ungrateful person who only cares about his own life and doesn't care about the life and death of his parents. She was making a fuss outside the gate of the courtyard, which naturally attracted a lot of people to watch. Whether it is the 1980s or the 21st century, watching the fun is ingrained in the Chinese people's DNA. Mom, what are you doing? Xia Yushan pretended to be confused and went forward to support her. Zhang Cuifen pushed her away and said, What am I doing? Xia Yushan, last time I came, I asked you to borrow $10 to live on, but you refused. In the end, you turned around and went to the city to buy food, clothes, and a big color TV. Your father and I have raised you for so many years, but we raised an ungrateful person. You are so cruel that your father and I can't even make ends meet, and you don't care about it, right? Mom, when you married me to this family, you said that a daughter who is married off is like water spilled. Now that I'm married, I have nothing to do with the Xia family anymore. Xia Yushan said calmly. When the Xia family wanted to sell the original owner for a dowry of 5,000 yuan. The original owner also resisted at the beginning. No one wants to be bought and sold. But the Xia family insisted, and the original owner thought that Lu Yuting was relatively wealthy, so she reluctantly agreed. The Xia family was afraid that the original owner would get married and be devoted to her in-laws, and would come back to ask for the 5,000 yuan betrothal gift. After all, when the original owner got married, the Xia family did not return a single cent. When the due date came, Lu Yuting and the original owner got their marriage certificate, and then Lu Yuting took the original owner back home. 1 year after marriage, they didn't even have a wedding banquet. After getting married, the original owner took the money given by Lu Yuting and caught 2 chickens and went back to her parents' home, giving them money and gifts. The Xia family favors boys over girls, and the original owner received very little love since childhood. The more she couldn't get something, the more she wanted it. This is also the reason why the original owner took things from her mother's home without any bottom line. The purpose is to make the Xia family happy and pay more attention to her. As expected, Zhang Cuifen was overjoyed when she saw the money and things. Zhang Cuifen learned from the original owner that Lu Yuting gave her 100 yuan for living expenses every month. Zhang Cuifen then set her sights on living expenses. Later, he learned that Lu Yuting's noodle factory was very profitable, and he set his sights on the noodle factory. Every time she came, she brainwashed the original owner, asking her to hold onto Lu Yuting, give birth to a son, and then send Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu away. The original owner was simple-minded, and in order to please his parents, he became an unreasonable and bad-tempered person under the instigation of Zhang Cuifen. After hearing what Xia Yushan said, Zhang Cuifen's face instantly turned ugly. Xia Yushan did not give her a chance to speak, and said with great grievance, "Mom, you said I didn't care about you and Dad. You didn't return a penny of the 5,000 yuan betrothal gift from Lu Yuting. You took away half of the living expenses Lu Yuting gave you every month after marriage. You also took away 1 or 2 chickens every time you came. You also took the TV back home because you said you would use it for my second brother's wedding. I know that you and Dad love the 3 brothers and think that they are the pillars of the Xia family, but you can't ignore me, your daughter, for the sake of the eldest brother, the second brother, and the youngest brother." The more Xia Yushan spoke, the more aggrieved she felt. Zhang Cuifen was so angry that her face turned pale and blue. "Mom, you and Dad work in a factory, and the 2 of you make about 100 yuan a month. How can you say that you can't make a living? As for me, I need money for everything, including raising 2 children, Jingfeng and Jingyu. Yuting factory has just started, and we can't make any money at all. If you still want me to pay for the money that my brother owes, then you are forcing me to go to a dead end." As soon as Xia Yushan finished speaking, discussions were heard around her. "This is too much. Even if she is married, she is still your biological daughter. Are you still a biological parent if you push her to the brink of despair? I didn't expect Comrade Xia to have such a hard life. I used to think she was unreasonable, but it turns out she was forced into this. Don't talk nonsense. Comrade Xia is not an unreasonable person. We talked together yesterday and she is very reasonable. Her bad reputation was spread by her mother." Xia Yushan secretly curled her lips. This was also the second reason why she went out to visit friends yesterday. Although word of mouth needs to be earned by oneself, it also needs to be spread by others. As the wife of the village chief and a role model for women in the village, Zhang's wife stood up and began to speak up for Xia Yushan. "Comrade Xia's mother, please get up quickly. This is really embarrassing for Comrade Xia. If someone doesn't know, they might think she is being mean to her own mother. Sister-in-law Zhang, it doesn't matter. My reputation is already bad, and I don't mind being accused of being unfilial. As long as my mother is happy." Xia Yushan's generous remarks made many people in the village indignant for her. "After all, I saw her sensible side yesterday. Comrade Xia's mother, you don't consider your own daughter at all. We know what kind of person Comrade Xia is. If we didn't know, how would Comrade Xia live in the village with you making such a fuss?" Zhang's sister-in-law spoke again. After what happened yesterday, she had a much better impression of Xia Yushan. During dinner, she praised Xia Yushan to her husband for a long time. One of the people who played at Zhang's house yesterday also echoed, "That's right, comrade Xia's mother, although it is natural for a daughter to respect her parents, you can't force it." Although the others didn't say anything, the look in their eyes when they looked at Zhang Cuifan was full of contempt. Zhang Cuifan was a little panicked. She didn't expect that someone would stand up for Xia Yushan. She came to make trouble before, but no one paid attention and they all stood far away and watched. "Mom, I still have $10 left. This is for our family's food this month. You can take it all if you want. We have pickles and noodles at home, so we can make do. It's just hard for Jingfeng and Jingyu." Xia Yushan took out 10 yuan from her pocket. Everyone's eyes fell on Zhang Cuifan. Chapter 18. Rumors are not to be believed. If it had happened before, Zhang Cuifan would have taken the $10 and left without hesitation. But with so many people watching, they were all indignant for Xia Yushan. The second and third sons are not married yet, and this country guy is gossipy. If he ruins the reputation of the Xia family, it will be difficult for him to find a wife. She glared at Xia Yushan fiercely and walked away dejectedly. Xia Yushan forced a smile. It turns out that being a green tea is so effective. This is how we deal with a greedy person like Zhang Cuifan. After this, she won tea come for a while. Sister-in-law Zhang, Aunt Li, and all the sisters-in-law and aunts, thank you for speaking up for me just now. Please come inside and have a seat. Xia Yushan expressed her sincere thanks and extended a sincere invitation. No, I have something to do at home, so I'll be back soon. Aunt Li waved her hand and left with a smile. The others also politely declined and left. Zhang's sister-in-law brought her local dog and looked at Xia Yushan with a look of heartache. Comrade Xia, I didn't expect you to be so difficult. It's a pain to have a mother like this. Mrs. Zhang, please come in and sit down. It's a good opportunity for Jingyu and Chugu to play together. Okay, I'll sit for a while and then go back. Mrs. Zhang followed Xia Yushan into their house. The house was tidy and clean, which surprised Zhang's sister-in-law. She has never been here, but word has it that Xia Yushan doesn't clean up and her house is like a pigsty. It turns out that these are all rumors spread by others. Most families can't keep up with the cleaning. After Xia Yushan asked Mrs. Zhang to sit down, she poured her some tea. Comrade Xia, don't worry, I'll just sit for a while and then go back. It's okay, some herbal tea is refreshing on this hot day. Xia Yushan handed over the tea. Jingyu is in the room, I'll go call her. When Xia Yushan entered the room, Lu Jingyu was startled. Zhang Cuifan casts a huge shadow on her. Every time the bad grandmother came, she would scold her, and sometimes even hit and pinch her. As soon as the bad grandmother left, the stepmother would become irritable and yell at her and beat her. Seeing how nervous she was, Xia Yushan smiled and said, "The local dog is here. She's outside. Go find her and play with her." As he said that, he grabbed a few candies and gave a few to Lu Jingyu. Lu Jingyu was stunned. Not only did the stepmother not get angry or beat her, she also gave her candy. She followed Xia Yushan out of the room. Xia Yushan handed the remaining candy to the dog. "Here, take it and eat it." "You can't do that." Mrs. Zhang refused, but Tugo had already grabbed it. Zhang's sister-in-law was quite embarrassed. "This is really true. It's okay. Children like candy. Then we'll take one." In the 1980s, snacks like candy and cookies were very expensive. Most people would not buy them to eat at other times, and would only buy a little bit during the Chinese New Year. If there are many children in the family, each of them could get 2 or 3 to satisfy their cravings. Therefore, in the 1980s, children were particularly looking forward to the Chinese New Year because they could eat delicious food. Mrs. Zhang naturally couldn't ask for too much of the expensive candies. Before she could move back, Xia Yushan pushed her back. "I bought it for the children to eat. Just let the children take it." Mrs. Zhang no longer refused and her impression of Xia Yushan improved a lot. "Comrade Xia, it's really awkward to call you Comrade Xia, how about I call you sister from now on?" Zhang's sister-in-law also treated Xia Yushan as a friend. Xia Yushan readily agreed, "Of course." Mrs. Zhang sat for a while and then went back home to do farm work. The local dog didn't want to go back and wanted to play with Jingyu, so he stayed. Before, when Chugu came to play with Jingyu, Zhang's sister-in-law wouldn't let him. People say Xia Yushan beats her children, but she is also afraid. But after these two contacts, she is now completely relieved. The rumors are simply not credible. Xia Yushan was not idle either. She went to the side room to find a hoe, and then went to the backyard garden. It rained yesterday, so the ground is very soft and perfect for development. She wanted to dig up the ground and plant vegetables. When she went to the city with Lu Yuxing 2 days ago, she bought some cabbage, eggplant and pepper seeds, which were just the right season for sowing. Thinking that the garden will soon be full of lush green, pure natural vegetables, she felt in a good mood and full of energy. But the original owner's body was so weak that she felt exhausted after just a short while. She could only sit down and rest. She had not dug half of the garden when she stopped for 5 times and it was getting dark. I heard Lu Jingyu calling me brother. She then packed up her things and came back. When Lu Jingfeng saw that she was covered in mud, he was stunned at first, then his eyes showed vigilance. Xia Yushan was so tired that she didn't notice his expression and went to the well to wash. Lu Jingfeng walked into the house carrying his school bag. After putting the bag down, he pulled Lu Jingyu into the room. "Yeye, did your stepmother beat you today?" Lu Jingfeng asked nervously. Lu Jingyu shook her head. "No, the bad grandma came again today and scolded auntie." Lu Jingfeng's little face had a serious expression. "Brother, not only did auntie not beat or scold me, she also gave me candy." Lu Jingyu said happily, then took out a candy with its wrapper dirty from her pocket and handed it to Lu Jingfeng. "Brother, have some candy." "Yeye eats it, brother won't eat it." Lu Jingfeng always saved all the delicious food and drinks for Lu Jingyu. Besides, he has no appetite for candy now. He was a little confused about what his stepmother was going to do. Dad must not have left the house yet, so she did this so that Dad could leave without worry and they could let down their guard. "Yeye, remember what your brother said. Don't go on a long trip with your stepmother alone, okay?" Lu Jingyu nodded vigorously. "I know. Brother, you're back. I missed you so much." Qin Chuya rushed over and gave Qin Chushan a big hug. Qin Chushan pushed her away and said sternly, "You are already so grown up, what are you doing?" "Brother, I heard from mom that you're not leaving this time you come back. And you found a job that pays 300 or 400 a month." In the 1980s, 300 or 400 was considered a high salary. "Yeah." Qin Chushan raised his head with a proud look on his face. "My battalion commander in the army introduced it to me. Although the factory is in Qingyun village, the boss has a big business, there are not many jobs, and the salary is high." Qingyun village. Qin Chuya frowned. "What a coincidence. What's wrong?" Qin Chushan asked. Qin Chuya said quickly, "Brother, do you know? I met Xia Yushan. She got married to a man with 2 children in Qingyun village. He said he runs a flour mill. Do you think he is the boss of your workplace?" When Xia Yushan was mentioned, Qin Chushan's face instantly darkened with displeasure. "Didn't I tell you? Don't mention her in front of me. Besides, he's a big boss, how could he be interested in Xia Yushan?" Qin Chushan was full of contempt for Xia Yushan. Qin Chuya nodded thoughtfully. "Okay, I'm going to go rest. I have to catch the early bus to Qingyun village tomorrow morning. Brother, I have a day off tomorrow. Can you take me there? I have never been to the countryside." Qin Chuya said coquettishly and begged. She also wanted to see whether Xia Yushan had married a rich man. Qin Chushan couldn't stand Qin Chuya's pestering and had to agree. Chapter 19. Where did the confident man come from? The next morning, Qin Chuya followed Qin Chushan to Qingyun village. Qin Chushan made an appointment and went to the flour mill first. "Hello, are you Master Qin?" Li Fei stepped forward. Qin Chushan nodded with a little arrogance, "Yes. Master Qin, I'm really sorry. Brother Ting is out delivering goods and won't be back until the afternoon. However, he has already told me to explain the work process to you after you come. Brother Ting said he has told you about the salary and benefits before. If you think there is no problem, you can sign the work contract and come to work tomorrow." "Good." Li Fei felt a little uncomfortable seeing this man being so arrogant. After all, when Brother Ting was away, he was the one who took charge of all the factory affairs. However, thinking that it was not so easy to hire a driver nowadays, he endured it. He introduced the workflow, the goods that needed to be delivered every day, and their working hours to Qin Yushan in detail. Master Qin, do you think there is a problem? If there is no problem, we can sign the contract. No problem. Qin Yushan agreed. I followed Li Fei to the office and signed the contract. After signing the contract, Qin Yushan was stopped by Qin Chuyar. Brother, I just asked around, Xia Yushan's home is not far from here, let's go see her. She wanted to see how well Xia Yushan was living now. Qin Yushan was unhappy, why go see her? Brother, don't you want to see what Xia Yushan looks like now? How is she doing? Qin Chuyar's words also aroused Qin Yushan's curiosity. He really wanted to see what kind of person Xia Yushan married and what kind of life she was living now. Let's go. Qin Chuyar saw what he was thinking and pulled him away. The ground had not been dug yet yesterday, so Xia Yushan made breakfast early in the morning. After she and Yaya had breakfast, Yaya went to Chugu's house to play, and then she came to the garden to dig the ground. Although I am a little tired, I feel happy and relaxed. Growing vegetables is just like growing flowers. It gives you a sense of accomplishment and cultivates your sentiments. Sister. The voice of Zhang's sister-in-law came from the door. Xia Yushan thought something had happened to Jingyu, so she put down her hoe and went to the front yard. Mrs. Zhang, what's wrong? Girl, someone is looking for you. As soon as Mrs. Zhang finished speaking, Qin Chuyar and Qin Yushan walked in. Qin Chuyar and Qin Yushan looked the room up and down, and both showed expressions of disgust. Qin Chuyar? Xia Yushan was slightly surprised. How come she is here? She didn't notice Qin Yushan next to her for a moment. This is Xia Yushan's home. Zhang's sister-in-law said to Qin Chuyar and Qin Yushan. Then he looked at Xia Yushan and said, Sister, I have something else to do at home, so I'll leave first. Okay, thank you. Xia Yushan nodded slightly. You're welcome. Zhang's sister-in-law left with a smile. Qin Chuyar walked closer with a smile, looked at the shabby little bungalow, and sneered, Yushan, is this your home? Yes. Xia Yushan replied. She didn't think this woman had any good intentions. Qin Chuyar laughed even louder, didn't you say that your husband runs a factory? And you live in a house like this? Your house is the most shabby in the whole village. Qin Chuyar was not exaggerating on this point. Although they are also small bungalows, they look better than Liu Yuting's house. Originally, Liu Yuting wanted to rebuild a new house, but there were so many things to do in the factory that he simply couldn't spare the time. Since the original owner did nothing before, the matter was let go. Xia Yushan, why did you become such a horrible state? Qin Yushan looked at Xia Yushan with disgust. Xia Yushan looked down at herself and found herself looking a little disheveled. She had just been digging in the ground and was covered in mud. But it wasn't as exaggerated as he said. Qin Chuyar smiled and said, Yushan, you are still the same as before, liking to pretend to be rich. Wouldn't it be better to be more real? Seeing Xia Yushan living in such a place, my previous depressed mood was instantly cured and I am in a very good mood now. What are you doing here? Xia Yushan asked coldly. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with them. Qin Yushan sneered, Xia Yushan, you don't think Chuyar and I came to see you on purpose, do you? Xia Yushan? Who is this man? Don't be so conceited. I didn't come here to see you on purpose. I'm here for something important. Qin Yushan held his head high and chest puffed out, his attitude extremely arrogant. It's better to make it clear. Don't let her misunderstand and get entangled with him again. Xia Yushan, no, where does this confident guy come from? Xia Yushan, why are you staring at my brother like that? Even if you still miss my brother, he is someone you can't reach. Qin Chuyar said proudly. Her brother? Xia Yushan then remembered that this confident man was actually Qin Yushan. She said, who could be so confident? The original owner did like Qin Yushan before, and would often prepare food and gifts for Qin Yushan and go to his house to visit him, with the purpose of seeing Qin Yushan a few more times. But Qin Yushan always ignored him. Ignore them if you want, but I won't refuse food or small gifts and will accept them all. Later, Qin Yushan went to another place and the two had no contact again. If Qin Chuyar hadn't mentioned it, Xia Yushan would not have thought of this person at all. Hearing what Qin Chuyar said, Qin Yushan got even angrier. Xia Yushan, you are married now, so please don't have any improper thoughts about me. Not to mention now, even before you got married, there was no possibility for us. Hee hee. Xia Yushan chuckled twice. Excuse me, comrade, who are you? Are we familiar with each other? I'm sorry, my memory is not very good, and I have forgotten some unimportant people. Qin Shushan's face suddenly turned pale. Xia Yushan, why are you pretending? You liked my brother so much before, how could you not remember him? Qin Shuya was displeased. Xia Yushan smiled slightly, you said it was in the past. Qin Shuya choked. You too, the head of the family is not at home. As a woman, I am not comfortable entertaining guests, especially male guests. If you have nothing else to do, please go ahead. I will not keep you two any longer. Xia Yushan simply found an excuse to order them to leave. Xia Yushan, do you think I am willing to come to you? Qin Shushan turned around and left arrogantly. Elder brother. Qin Shuya chased after him. Qin Shuya, it's all your fault. You insisted on coming to see her. Qin Shushan scolded. He had never been so humiliated before. Brother, don't be angry. Xia Yushan did that on purpose. She is taking revenge on you. Qin Shuya tried to make amends. Qin Shushan's anger subsided a little, and he looked at her with doubt. Revenge. Yes, she must be taking revenge on you for leaving without saying goodbye and not marrying her, which led to her having such a bad marriage now. That's why she said those things. Do you know what kind of person Xia Yushan is? Qin Shuya became more and more certain as she spoke. Qin Shushan naturally believed what Qin Shuya said, and his mood suddenly improved. Chapter 20. This man is really rough. Lu Yuting came back very early today. When he came back, Xia Yushan was still digging in the garden. What are you doing? Lu Yuting asked with some curiosity. Xia Yushan was slightly surprised, then smiled and said, prepare to grow some vegetables. Lu Yuting looked slightly surprised. He has been married to Xia Yushan for a year, and she has never even picked vegetables, let alone grown them. Why did you come back so early today? Xia Yushan asked. Lu Yuting, the driver has been found and will be able to report to work tomorrow. I plan to leave tomorrow and come back early today to pack up. Oh, I see. Xia Yushan tidied herself up. Then let's go back to their house. Let me do it. Lu Yuting stepped forward and took the hoe from Xia Yushan's hand. Xia Yushan didn't hesitate and handed him the hoe. Today is quite tiring. Sweating all over, she went back to their house, got her clothes, and took a shower. When I came out, I saw Lu Yuting already cooking in the kitchen. Are you cooking? You're tired after a day's work, take a rest. Lu Yuting was busy working skillfully. You can tell at first glance that she cooks often. Xia Yushan was not polite, then I'll go pack your clothes for you. She was the one who packed and organized the clothes and other things. She also didn't want to put it away and then have it torn apart again. Rather than sorting it out again, she might as well do it. She put Lu Yuting's clothes in a separate compartment so it was easy to find them. She packed 2 or 3 sets of clothes for Lu Yuting. When she looked for the clothing room, she discovered that Lu Yuting's clothes were very simple. Most of them were old men's vests, which were all wrinkled after being washed. There were only 2 decent shirts. This man is really rough and has no manners at all. Wait until he comes back from studying, and then I'll take him to buy some new ones. How could her man dress so shabbily? By the time she had cleaned up, Lawrence Lu's meal was also ready. Just as the food was served on the table, Lu Jingfeng came back and brought back Lu Jingyu, who was playing at Chugu's house. Jingfeng, Jingyu, go wash your hands and have dinner. Okay. Lu Jingfeng quickly put down his school bag and took Lu Jingyu to wash their hands. He respects Lu Yuting very much. Xia Yushan looked at the dishes made by Lu Yuting and couldn't help but want to try them. Just looking at it makes people particularly hungry. Half of the reason why the original owner was so fat was related to the food cooked by Lu Yuting. It's so delicious that you can't stop eating it. She hasn't tasted it yet. She picked up a piece of meat and put it in her mouth. 2 words to describe it, delicious. 4 words to describe it, very delicious. It was smooth, tender and tasty, almost as good as the stir-fried pork she had eaten in the restaurant. Jingfeng, Jingyu, Dad is going out to study tomorrow. He will be gone for a long time this time. You must listen to Auntie at home. Lu Yuting reminded. Lu Jingyu immediately agreed, I understand, Dad. After spending the past few days with Xia Yushan, she no longer has the fear she had before, and instead feels that this stepmother is pretty good now. I got it, Dad. Lu Jingfeng also agreed, but his brows were frowned and his expression was a little solemn. After Lu Yuting got the reply, his eyes fell on Xia Yushan. I'll ask Li Fei to deliver fresh vegetables every day. If you have any questions, you can go to the factory to find him. No need to go to such trouble. I can go to the small shop at the entrance of the village to buy it and just consider it as exercise. Besides, if you are not at home and a man goes home every day, outsiders will gossip if they see him. Xia Yushan refused. She wasn't afraid of gossip. I mainly want to exercise while buying groceries. The original owner was so fat. If she relied on diet alone to lose weight without exercise, her skin would become loose after she lost weight. After all, she was still living in the countryside in the 1980s. Every household goes out to do farm work before dawn. She had free time but went to exercise, which made everyone jealous. Who knows what will come out by then? I guess the rumor is that she ran out of someone's bed early in the morning. There was no farm work to do, so she just cooked 3 meals a day. She had already cleared the vegetable garden and planted the seeds, and then there was nothing else to do. It's a good opportunity to go shopping for groceries every day, get work done, exercise, and kill time. The small shop at the entrance of the village is a bit far away. Lu Yuting reminded. You know, before this, Xia Yushan was the kind of person who didn't want to take even a step further. There is only one small shop in each village, and it is at the entrance of the village. Almost all the daily necessities of the village are purchased there. After all, there is a lot of farm work to do and there is not much time to go to the city. It doesn't matter. I don't have much to do at home anyway. And I can buy whatever I want if I go shopping myself. Lu Yuting looked at her a few more times. Xia Yushan is indeed very different now. Since she said so, he didn't say anything else. After finishing her meal and cleaning up, Xia Yushan went out and walked around the yard several times. Lu Jingfeng is doing his homework. Lu Jingyu is watching TV. Lu Yuting leaned against the gate of the yard, smoking a cigarette and watching Xia Yushan walking around in the yard. Ever since Xia Yushan told him last time not to smoke in front of the children and her, he never smoked in front of them. Xia Yushan walked a few laps and was out of breath, so she stopped to relax. Lu Yuting finished smoking a cigarette. He put it out, threw the butt into the trash can beside him, and walked towards Xia Yushan. Then he took out a stack of money from his pocket and handed it to Xia Yushan. I'm afraid I will be away from home for 2 or 3 months. This is 3 months' living expenses. Take it and use it. If it's not enough, go to the factory to find Li Fei. Xia Yushan took it and counted it. It was exactly 1,000 yuan. That's enough for a year. I'll trouble you at home. Don't worry. Xia Yushan looked at the money and was in a good mood. I didn't expect that in the 1980s, I could still spend money freely. As for why Lu Yuting gave living expenses every month but did not give the money in his hands to the original owner, Xia Yushan could understand it. Lu Yuting is a straight man, but he is not stupid. The original owner always thought about her mother's family in everything she did, even giving the chickens left by her parents to her mother's family. The living expenses were also deducted and given to my mother's family. If Lu Yuting handed over all his belongings to the original owner, the original owner would then turn around and give all the money to her parents' family. In fact, for Xia Yushan, it doesn't matter much whether all the family belongings are handed over to her or she is given living expenses every month. She didn't have to ask for it, and Lu Yuting was very generous and never made her feel embarrassed or short of money. After losing weight, she will plan her life well. She is a new age woman. She has never relied on her parents since graduation. Now in this age when gold is everywhere, she will not rely on Lu Yuting or depend on men to live. By the way, I have already packed your luggage. Please check to see if there is anything missing. Good. In order to let Lu Yuting have a good sleep, Xia Yushan took Jingyu back to her room. Gave Jingyu's bed to Lu Yuting. Chapter 21, Still So Dirty. As soon as the sky was getting light, Xia Yushan heard the sound of a door opening and closing. She thought that Lu Yuting must have left. I wanted to sleep a little longer, but I just couldn't fall asleep. After being here for so long, her biological clock has changed. I have almost formed a good habit of going to bed early and getting up early. In the 1980s, there was no nightlife, and there was nothing else to do except go to bed early. Maybe this is also because of this era, there are many children who are willing. His face suddenly turned red, as if he thought of something he shouldn't have thought about. In order not to wake Lu Jingyu, she stood up quietly. Walking to the scale, the most exciting thing every day is weighing yourself in the morning. Whether your mentality will collapse depends entirely on the number on the scale. 168.2. A smile appeared on Xia Yushan's face. She wrote down the weight in a notebook. The scale showed exactly 170 yesterday morning. This is almost a loss of 1.8 kilograms, which is a lot for her. She never thought about losing 10 pounds in a week. Some people can do it, but if you are not a professional, it is best not to rush for success. The reason why she recorded her weight was to observe her weight loss. After changing her clothes, she went downstairs. Seeing that Lu Jingfeng had also gotten up, he started packing his school bag. Why did you get up so early? Xia Yushan asked curiously. Lu Jingfeng usually rests at this time. I can't sleep. In fact, Lu Jingfeng didn't sleep the whole night. Knowing that his father was going out today, he was worried all night. Now that dad is gone, will my stepmother's true colors be revealed? Will he and Jingyu be sent away immediately? He really wanted to tell his father yesterday that he would be very scared when his father was not around. But in the end, I couldn't speak. Dad works for him and Jingyu. He can't be ignorant and drag his father down. Then I'll go make you a bowl of noodles. You can eat it before going to school. Xia Yushan entered the kitchen. I would get tired of eating this at school every day. She also had to cook breakfast for her and Jingyu anyway. Lu Jingfeng looked at her warily. Xia Yushan. This kid is not still doubting that she will poison him, right? Come in and help me at firewood. Xia Yushan called. Okay. Lu Jingfeng followed into the kitchen. Xia Yushan washed the pot and heated oil, fried 2 eggs first, then added boiling water, and the soup immediately turned milky white. It was already boiling water, and the soup gurgled after it was added. She put the noodles down. I went to wash some vegetables. When the noodles were almost cooked, she put the vegetables in. Lu Jingfeng watched the whole process. Xia Yushan served him a bowl and put a fried egg in it. Give. Lu Jingfeng quickly took it and carried the noodles to the main room. Xia Yushan also came out with noodles, but her bowl was much less than Lu Jingfeng's. Lu Jingfeng looked at the noodles in her bowl and said tremblingly, Are you enough? I'm losing weight, that's enough, you eat yours. Xia Yushan said indifferently. But Lu Jingfeng kept looking at her and the noodles in her bowl. Xia Yushan saw what he was thinking and sighed softly, Yaya is still sleeping, the noodles will clump easily. I'll make it for her again when she wakes up. Why do you have to be so nice to us? Lu Jingfeng couldn't help but ask what was in his mind. No matter how sensible he is just an 8-year-old child after all. The mind is not yet fully mature. Xia Yushan looked at him appraisingly, what do you think my purpose is? Lu Jingfeng quickly lowered his head. He now felt a little regretful that he should not have asked his stepmother this question. If her stepmother found out what he knew, would she send her and Yaya away even faster? Well, I do have a purpose. Xia Yushan nodded and said seriously. Lu Jingfeng was so frightened that his face turned pale. Seeing him like this, Xia Yushan found him very cute and said with a smile, I like your father. If I want to keep him by my side, he must be good to you, right? If he is not good to you, then I will be driven away, right? Lu Jingfeng looked at her with a half-believing and half-doubting expression. Don't look at me like I'm going to sell you out. Xia Yushan teased. But Lu Jingfeng took it seriously. As expected, his stepmother wanted to sell him and Yaya. Seeing that he was becoming more and more alert and more afraid, Xia Yushan held her forehead and said helplessly, Little friend, your teacher should have taught you that trafficking in children is illegal. No, but you can also send us away. Lu Jingfeng whispered aggrievedly. Xia Yushan was slightly stunned. It seems that Lu Jingfeng had heard the conversation between Zhang Xuefen and the original owner. No wonder Lu Jingfeng is still so hostile and wary of her after all this time. She had always thought that Lu Jingfeng was like this because he was at school all day and had little time to spend with her. Xia Yushan took a deep breath and said patiently, Yuanjing you as legal guardian is your father. Even if I want to send you away, without formal procedures, no one will dare to take you in. Lu Jingfeng looked at her, not quite understanding. To put it simply, without your father's permission, no place will take you in, so don't worry. Since your father is not here, I will send you away. Lu Jingfeng understood a little. No wonder stepmother no longer quarrels with dad and is nicer to him. It turns out that she wants to persuade dad to send them away. No, he must save enough money so that when his father no longer wants him, he can still support Yaya. Seeing that he looked understanding, Xia Yushan thought he understood, but she didn't expect that he had misinterpreted her meaning. Okay, go to school now, or you'll be late. Lu Jingfeng stood up and left with his school bag. Xia Yushan put the bowl into the kitchen. By the time she had packed up, Lu Jingyu had also gotten up. She made fried rice with egg for Lu Jingyu because Jingyu said she wanted to eat fried rice with egg. There was still food at home, so she didn't go out to buy food. It's a good time to plant the vegetable seeds. After finishing the work, he took Jingyu out to play for a while. After Lu Yuting left, Xia Yushan's life not only did not become monotonous and boring, but instead felt very fulfilling. Lose weight, take Jingyu out to play, water the vegetable garden, and most importantly, gain a deeper understanding of the 1980s. Although she came from the 21st century, she was born in the 1990s and does not have a deep understanding of the situation in the 1980s. If she wants to do something, she still needs to learn more about it. If you want to do something, you must do it to the best of your ability and succeed. The first thing I do every morning is to weigh myself. 167. 165.5. 160.3. Watching the numbers drop little by little, she is in a good mood every day. Yeah, let's go to the small shop at the entrance of the village, okay? Good. Lu Jingyu jumped and followed. Xia Yushan and Lu Jingyu walked towards the village entrance, talking and laughing. After this period of exercise, her body is no longer as weak as before. It's not that difficult to go back and forth to the village entrance. Xia Yushan, what are you doing here? Qin Qiushan's unhappy voice came. Did he know he was driving here and come to find him? It turns out that she hasn't given up on him yet. She is already married, but her mind is still so dirty. Chapter 22. Lu Jingfeng fainted at school. Xia Yushan was stunned for a moment and was still not quite able to react. Who is this man? She doesn't remember clearly the names of people she's not familiar with. Obviously, she had forgotten about Qin Qiushan. Xia Yushan, you've come all the way here? Aren't you afraid of being gossiped about? You have no shame, but I still have some. Qin Qiushan was angry and disgusted. Such confident remarks made Xia Yushan remember him. Seeing that Qin Qiushan was driving the flour mill's car, he understood. He is the truck driver that Lu Yuting is looking for. The flour mill and the small shop are on the same road, and Xia Yushan will pass by the flour mill on her way to the small shop. Since Lu Yuting was not there, he did not go to the flour mill. I don't know that the person driving here is Qin Qiushan. Do you work here? When Xia Yushan asked this, Qin Qiushan's expression suddenly changed. Xia Yushan, stop pretending here. If you didn't know I was here, why would you come here? Why? Are you trying to get my attention this way? Xia Yushan looked him up and down, very puzzled. He has average looks, average figure, an average family background. Where does his self-confidence come from? Yeah, where are we going? Xia Yushan asked Lu Jingyu. Lu Jingyu looked at her in confusion. Auntie, aren't we going to the small shop? Yes. Xia Yushan smiled with satisfaction and looked at Qin Qiushan. Comrade, did you hear me clearly? We are going to the small shop. Without giving Qin Qiushan a chance to reply, Xia Yushan took Lu Jingyu away. Qin Qiushan was stunned for a moment, looking at Xia Yushan's back and her fat appearance, and instantly revealed an expression of disgust. Xia Yushan took Lu Jingyu to a small shop and bought some daily necessities and vegetables. Then the two of them walked home talking and laughing. Comrade Xia, Comrade Xia. The village chief strode over, looking very anxious. Following behind him was Zhang's sister-in-law. Comrade Xia, please go to school quickly. Jingfeng fainted in school. The village chief said breathlessly. Xia Yushan was shocked. What? Why did Jingfeng suddenly faint? The school just sent someone to bring back a message that Jingfeng is still in the infirmary, said the village chief. Xia Yushan nodded quickly and said, okay. Now that Lu Yuting is not at home, it is her responsibility to take care of Jingfeng and Jingyu. What happened to my brother? Lu Jingyu burst into tears out of fear when she heard her brother fainted. Xia Yushan quickly comforted him, Jingyu, don't cry, brother is fine. Village head. Before she could speak, Zhang's sister-in-law came over and said breathlessly, sister, go and see Jingfeng. I'll help you look after Jingyu. Okay, then thank you, village chief and Mrs. Zhang. I'll be right back. Xia Yushan didn't bother to be polite with them this time. It is not very convenient to bring Jingyu with me. The school is some distance away from Qingyun village, and considering the original owner's current physical condition, it is quite difficult to walk to school. After she handed Jingyue's shopping items to the village chief and Zhang's sister-in-law, she went to the flour mill. When Qin Qiushan saw Xia Yushan hurried in, a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. He said he wasn't here to look for him, but is already here. Ahem. Qin Qiushan cleared his throat, as if to attract attention. Xia Yushan had no time to pay attention to him now and strode towards the office. When Qin Qiushan saw Xia Yushan walking towards the office, he thought she didn't see him and coughed loudly twice. Xia Yushan pushed open the office door and walked in. Comrade Li. Li Fei was slightly surprised when he saw Xia Yushan coming. Comrade Xia, why are you here? Although he didn't like Xia Yushan very much and thought she was just a vampire, and a bad-tempered one at that, he felt sorry for Brother Ting and felt sorry for him. But before Brother Ting left, he asked him to help take care of the family. Out of Brother Ting's consideration, he did not show too much to Xia Yushan. Comrade Li, can you take me to school? The school just sent someone back to say that Jingfeng fainted at school. What, Jingfeng fainted at school? Li Fei stood up. Xia Yushan nodded, yeah. Comrade Xia, let's go quickly. Li Fei did not delay. Xia Yushan followed her out of the office. Li Fei rode a motorcycle and took Xia Yushan away. The motorcycle also belongs to the factory. Sometimes when farmers need flour but their homes are too far away and the elderly at home cannot transport it, Lu Yuting will have someone deliver it by motorcycle. Qin Qiushan looked at this scene and it took him a long time to come back to his senses. Xia Yushan's husband is Li Fei? No wonder she said her husband runs a factory. This woman is still as hypocritical as before. She is just the second in command in the factory and, to put it bluntly, she is just an employee. He is really good at bragging. Li Fei took Xia Yushan to the infirmary on a motorcycle. Lu Jingfeng was lying on the hospital bed, with his head teacher standing by his side. Jingfeng, how are you? Xia Yushan strode forward. Lu Jingfeng looked at Xia Yushan timidly. The teacher asked, are you Jingfeng's parents? I am Jingfeng's mother. Xia Yushan said. Lu Jingfeng was slightly stunned, because his stepmother never let him and Yaya tell others that she was their mother. The class teacher knew Lu Jingfeng's family situation, and the reputation of Lu Jingfeng's stepmother had already spread. He turned to look at Li Fei, who are you? Teacher, what's going on with Jingfeng? Just tell me directly. Xia Yushan said. Since she said so, the head teacher didn't know what to say, so he said, the doctor just checked and said that Jingfeng fainted due to low blood sugar and malnutrition. Hypoglycemia? Malnutrition. Xia Yushan was shocked and confused. She can understand hypoglycemia, as some people's sugar intolerance can cause hypoglycemia. But how could it be malnutrition? Their head teacher looked at her with a meaningful look in her eyes. According to what I have learned from my classmates, Jingfeng never goes to the cafeteria to eat in the morning or at noon. How is this possible? Li Fei exclaimed. Brother Ting gives Jingfeng meal money every day. His eyes also fell on Xia Yushan. She wouldn't have even taken Jingfeng's meal money, right? Xia Yushan looked at Lu Jingfeng and said sternly, what's going on? Why don't you eat at school? Didn't your father give you money for meals? Lu Jingfeng lowered his head and said nothing. He can't tell his stepmother about saving money. If you don't tell me, I'll have to inform your father and ask him to come back. When he heard that he was going to tell his father, Lu Jingfeng panicked and started crying anxiously, please, don't tell Dad. If Dad knew, he would be very angry. He was afraid that his father would be angry and that his father would not want him and Yaya. Comrade Xia, Jingfeng is already like this, you shouldn't scare him. Li Fei couldn't bear it and said with some dissatisfaction. Seeing Lu Jingfeng crying, Xia Yushan felt a little bit reluctant. After getting along with each other, she still felt sorry for Lu Jingfeng. Such a young child has to live cautiously all the time. Seeing that he was so thin that he was just skin and bones, she turned and walked out. Seeing her leave, Li Fei and the head teacher were both very surprised. After all, they are not my biological children, so I don't feel sorry for them at all. Lu Jingfeng didn't take it seriously. He lowered his head and clasped his hands. His alone figure looked quite lonely. Chapter 23, Is this woman Xia Yushan worth it? Their head teacher had a group of other students to take care of at school, so when he saw that Lu Jingfeng's parents had arrived, he left. As soon as he walked out of the infirmary door, he saw Xia Yushan walking in with a bunch of food. He was slightly surprised, and then felt ashamed of his guess. Teacher. Xia Yushan took the initiative to greet. Jingfeng really troubled you today. Their head teacher was surprised again. Was it said that Jingfeng's stepmother was arrogant and unreasonable? Many children heard their adults chatting and then told them about it at school. She even refused to play with Jingfeng because he had a stepmother. He said that it was the adults in the family who said that because they were afraid that his stepmother would cause trouble. Isn't this quite reasonable? Jingfeng's mother, please don't say that. Jingfeng is my student, and I also have responsibilities. No matter what, I still want to thank you, teacher, for taking care of Jingfeng. When Jingfeng's father comes back, we will come to thank you again. Jingfeng's mother, this is serious. Their head teacher said this, and he felt happy in his heart. At least he was respected. Some unreasonable parents, knowing that their children have fainted at school, will make a scene at the school regardless of whether it is the school's fault or not. Jingfeng's mother didn't even say no and thanked him so much. In his opinion, those gossipers in the village were just jealous of Jingfeng's father's ability to make money. In addition, stepmothers are criticized in the first place, so it is natural that the story will be exaggerated. Teacher, Jingfeng is a sensitive, introverted and quiet kid. I'll have to ask you to take care of him in school in the future. Jingfeng's mother, don't worry, I will pay more attention to Jingfeng's affairs. After exchanging a few words with the teacher, the head teacher left, and Xia Yushan went into the infirmary with some snacks. Jingfeng, tell Uncle Li why you don't eat at school. Was the money your father gave you taken away by your aunt? Although Li Fei was very angry, he did not use any harsh words to Xia Yushan in front of the children. Lu Jingfeng lowered his eyes and said nothing. Jingfeng, don't be afraid. Tell Uncle Li and he will tell your father when the time comes. The child has been abused like this. Brother Ting cares so much about Jingfeng Jingyu that he will definitely not tolerate her anymore. Lu Jingfeng hurriedly said, Uncle Li, it wasn't Auntie who took the money, don't tell Dad. What he said would only make Li Fei think that he was afraid of Xia Yushan. Jingfeng, don't be afraid. Uncle Li is here and will not let you and Jingyu suffer any injustice. Uncle Li, it really wasn't Auntie who took it. It was me, I saved the money myself. Lu Jingfeng told the truth. Li Fei was shocked, and then said distressedly, Jingfeng, you silly boy, your father doesn't want you to save money with him like this. Lu Jingfeng lowered his head and said nothing. Outside the door, Xia Yushan heard the conversation between the two clearly. Just when Li Fei was about to preach, she walked in with snacks. Lu Jingfeng and Li Fei were both startled and looked at her in astonishment. Xia Yushan walked to the bed, put the snacks on the cabinet, then took a bag of biscuits and handed it to Lu Jingfeng. Eat this. Lu Jingfeng looked at her in shock, then carefully took the biscuit. He was indeed very hungry. He didn't eat anything in the morning or at noon, and when he got home at night, he didn't dare eat much for fear that his stepmother would be angry. Looking at the cookies makes me feel hungrier. He didn't care and started eating with big mouthfuls. Xia Yushan handed over the soda with the cap already unscrewed, don't choke. Li Fei was a little slow in reacting to this scene. After eating and drinking his fill, Lu Jingfeng felt full of energy. I have just asked for leave from your teacher. You can come home with me later. Xia Yushan said. Lu Jingfeng nodded silently. Xia Yushan called a doctor and made sure that Lu Jingfeng could leave before taking him home. Li Fei sent them to their doorstep. Comrade Li, thank you so much today. Xia Yushan thanked him politely. Li Fei is still a little uncomfortable. You know, before this, every time he came to Brother Ting's house to help, he never received a thank you. Instead, he would be met with Xia Yushan's contempt, thinking that it was what he should do. He always looked at him as if he were a servant. This is also one of the reasons why he disliked Xia Yushan. Comrade Li, I still have to go to the village chief's house to pick up Jingyu, so I won't invite you to my house for tea. Li Fei's thoughts were pulled back. No, I have something else to do at the factory, I have to go. Xia Yushan nodded slightly, watched Li Fei leave, and then looked at Lu Jingfeng. When Lu Jingfeng saw her looking at him, he was so scared that he immediately lowered his head. You go back to the house first, I'll go pick up Jingyu. Lu Jingfeng nodded and turned to walk into their house. Xia Yushan went to pick up Jingyu. As soon as Lu Jingyu came back, she hugged Lu Jingfeng and cried, "Brother, what's wrong with you?" "I'm fine." Lu Jingfeng imitated an adult and patted Lu Jingyu's back to comfort her. Xia Yushan looked at the two little guys and said, "I'll go cook." After she sorted out the things she bought, she went to the kitchen. Today she fried an extra egg and cooked a little more meat. I originally wanted to make braised pork for my two children. Ku Jingfeng is currently suffering from severe malnutrition, so he shouldn't eat too much fatty food. She blanched the pork belly, cut it into thin slices, and made a stir-fry. Lu Jingfeng was always worried that Xia Yushan would ask him why he didn't eat at school. But until he fell asleep, Xia Yushan didn't even ask a question. It seems like nothing happened today. Li Fei rode his bike back to the flour mill. Qin Qiushan came forward and said, "Comrade Li, are you going out?" "Yeah." Li Fei responded. Qin Qiushan continued, "It's not a good idea to do personal things during your working hours, right?" Li Fei frowned and looked at Qin Qiushan. "I don't mean anything, just now a farmer came to buy flour and needed it delivered to his home, but he didn't see the motorcycle." "I understand. I'll go and take it there later." Li Fei replied. "Sometimes we are too busy to deliver the goods on time, so the accountant will register them and deliver them when he is free." Qin Qiushan looked at him and said, "Comrade Li, you are so thin. You must be very hard working every day, right? Not only does he have to deal with factory matters, but he also has to deal with Xia Yushan, the troublemaker. He must be very busy." Fortunately, he was not with Xia Yushan at the beginning, otherwise he would have been dragged down to death by her. "Master Qin, what do you want to say?" Li Fei always felt that he was being sarcastic, but he didn't know what he was being sarcastic about. Qin Qiushan smiled and said, "Don't get me wrong, I just think you're having a hard time. Thank you for your concern. I don't feel tired." Li Fei responded and left. To him, Brother Ting's business is his business. If it weren't for Brother Ting, his father would have left long ago. Thinking back to that time, because he had no money to treat his father and watched his father suffer in pain, he hated himself for being incompetent. At that time, Brother Ting brought money and found the best doctor in the city for his father. He will never be able to repay Brother Ting's kindness in his entire life. What's the point of this little bit of hard work? Qin Qiushan felt inexplicably uncomfortable when he saw Li Fei's firm attitude. I couldn't help but murmur, is Xia Yushan worthy of him doing this? Chapter 24 Weight Loss Experience. The next morning, Xia Yushan got up at daybreak. I still got on the scale and weighed myself first. 159.5. 160 next. The good thing is that the weight will drop rapidly. In almost half a month, she has lost 7 or 8 kilograms, and she is very satisfied with the weight loss. Although his body shape doesn't seem to have changed much, his pants are now quite loose. Fortunately, the original owner bought some pants with elastic waists, so even though they are a little bigger, they can still be worn. She changed her clothes and went downstairs to the kitchen. I had a bowl of noodles and fried an egg. As soon as it was done, Lu Jingfeng got up. "Come here, eat the noodles before going to school." Xia Yushan put the noodles on the table. Lu Jingfeng was slightly stunned. Xia Yushan ignored him and turned back into the kitchen. There was some leftover rice from yesterday, so she heated it up, made a bento, put it in a lunchbox and took it out. "Take this to school. It's hot, so you can eat it at noon if you cool it down." Lu Jingfeng was shocked again. The stepmother not only made breakfast for him, but also prepared lunch for him. "Remember to wash the dishes after eating." After saying that, Xia Yushan went to the well to wash clothes. Jingyu hadn't gotten up yet, So she washed the clothes first and then went to make breakfast so that the noodles wouldn't clump together. Lu Jingfeng looked at the fragrant noodles, swallowed his saliva, picked up the chopsticks and started eating in big mouthfuls. After eating, he took the bowl to the kitchen, washed it and put it away before coming out. I went to school. Lu Jingfeng strode away with his school bag on his back. After Xia Yushan finished washing the clothes, she went to the kitchen to make breakfast. Jingyu also got up at this time. Life returned to normal. Xia Yushan gets up every morning to prepare breakfast for Lu Jingfeng, and then prepares lunch and brings it to school for him. She didn't ask why Lu Jingfeng didn't eat at school or why he saved his money. Lu Jingfeng wanted to ask several times, but swallowed the words back when they came to his lips. Summer vacation is here. Lu Jingfeng doesn't have to go to school, and Xia Yushan doesn't have to prepare lunch for him anymore. 145. 145.7. 145. For half a month, Xia Yushan looked at the numbers on the scale that kept jumping back and forth, and her mentality was almost on the verge of collapse. There is no such thing as losing weight without experiencing collapse. Time and again, I was on the verge of collapse because of not losing weight, and then slowly healed myself. Keep telling yourself that it is normal not to lose weight after entering a plateau. Once the base number is small, it will be even less likely to fall. The same thing happened when she was losing weight before. After losing about 10 pounds, I entered a plateau period, and then I didn't lose weight for 20 days in a row. After an indulgent meal, it slowly started to fall off. In fact, she doesn't quite agree with the idea of having an indulgent meal once a week. Unless you don't lose a pound in half a month to 20 days, you can have an indulgent meal, just at noon. It is unreasonable to say that you can have one indulgent meal a week. You only lose about 3 to 4 pounds a week. If you indulge in a meal, you may lose weight all the way to the end, and that week's weight loss will be wasted. This cycle will repeat over and over again, and you will find that you have been losing weight but your weight has not changed. Moreover, an indulgent meal does not mean that you can completely indulge in eating until you are full and then fast for a day the next day. Not only will it harm your body, but you will also want to overeat after you stop drinking fluids. During an indulgence meal, you can eat some foods that you cannot eat during fat loss. Just like during the fat loss period, eat until you are 70% to 80% full. The next day, I returned to my usual fat loss diet. Although the weight I gained after the indulgent meal fell off slowly, it would keep falling off. It wouldn't be so hard if you didn't rely on pure fluid weaning. Especially for those who have a solid foundation and need to persist for several months, they will not feel uncomfortable. She is doing very well. She has lost more than 20 kilograms and has entered a real plateau period. For her, if she doesn't lose weight for a week, it's not considered a plateau. Looks like I need to change my diet today. However, she won't be planning an indulgent meal for herself just yet. This is the general foundation, and there are many kinds of diet arrangements on the platform. Yesterday, I bought some meat and made some buns and steamed buns, which I can eat in the morning, noon, and evening. It was a hot day and she didn't like to go into the kitchen. She would sweat all over as soon as she got in. Steamed buns are also much more convenient. Just heat them up and make some soup, and you have a meal. She had learned from videos before and had done it several times herself. I have to say, she has a talent for cooking. Never rolled over once. She first kneaded the dough and let it ferment, and then prepared the filling. The best meat is the one that is both fat and lean. She chopped the meat into small pieces. The onions, garlic, and Chinese cabbage she planted have all grown. She went to the garden and picked some onions, some garlic sprouts, and some Chinese cabbage. Looking at the green vegetable garden that I created with my own hands, I feel a special sense of accomplishment. The vegetables you grow yourself taste sweeter. She chopped the Chinese cabbage, onions and garlic sprouts she had picked into pieces, then put them into the meat, added seasonings and mixed well. The temperature is high and the dough rises quickly, and it will be ready soon. Looking at the honeycomb-shaped face, she smiled. It seems that there was no crash this time. The key to making steamed buns is to let the dough ferment. As long as the dough is well fermented, the buns will not fail. She started making dumplings. After wrapping the stuffing, she made the remaining stuffing into steamed buns. Made 2 large cages. Let it rise for another 10 minutes, then steam it after the water boils. Soon, the fragrant steamed buns came out of the oven. "Auntie, what are you making?" It smells so good. Lu Jingyu walked in after smelling the fragrance. Xia Yushan took a bun and handed it to her. Eat it. Wow, buns too. Lu Jingyu shouted excitedly, took it and took a big bite. It's delicious. It's really delicious. Such meat buns were already a luxury in the 1980s. Xia Yushan picked up a few and put them in the bowl, then handed it to Lu Jingyu. Take it out and eat with your brother. Okay. Lu Jingyu shouted as she walked, holding the buns. Xia Yushan took a bowl and took a few meat buns and sent them to Zhang's sister-in-law. Sister-in-law Zhang, I made some buns today. Send some to Tugo so he can have a taste. That's not possible. That's not possible. Zhang's sister-in-law quickly declined. Xia Yushan stuffed it into her arms and said, Sister-in-law Zhang, just take it. I'm alone at home, and I'm grateful for your care during this period. It's just a few buns. Don't say that. We are neighbors, and we should help each other. So, here are a few buns, which I also made myself, you can take them. Well, I thank you on behalf of the dog. During this period of time, Zhang's sister-in-law had a better and better impression of Xia Yushan. He treated Xia Yushan as his own sister. Sister, you've been working hard these days, taking care of 2 children by yourself. You've lost a lot of weight. Xia Yushan smiled guiltily. To say it was hard, it wasn't really that hard. After all, Jingfeng and Jingyu were both very obedient and she didn't need to worry about anything. She cooked, and the 2 little ones helped wash the dishes and clean the kitchen. As for losing weight, she was not sure about it. After all, in the 1980s, especially in rural areas, there was no body anxiety. On the contrary, I feel stronger, more powerful and more capable of working. Chapter 25 Lu Yuting, you are back. When Xia Yushan came back, Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu had already eaten several. Seeing them eating so happily, she felt a sense of accomplishment. Who works hard to prepare the meals and buns and doesn't he want to be liked? She went into the kitchen, took a steamed bun, and poured a cup of boiling water. Eating steamed buns with water will make you as thin as a ghost. This is her diet for today's next plateau. In the morning she ate a steamed bun and drank a large glass of water. At noon, she made tomato and egg soup for Jingfeng and Jingyu, and heated up the buns. And she ate steamed buns with water. At night, I still eat steamed buns with water. She calls it the carbon underwater platform method. Seeing that she had steamed buns with water for 3 meals, Lu Jingyu looked at the bun in her hand, hesitated for a long time, swallowed, and then handed the bun to her. Auntie, you eat. Looking at the meat buns, Xia Yushan swallowed her saliva. She also wanted to eat one, but if she ate this one, then all the steamed buns she had eaten today would have been in vain. Jingyu, you eat, auntie is full. After you finish eating, clean up and I will go for a walk in the yard. Xia Yushan got up and left. She couldn't watch it anymore for fear that she couldn't control her craving for pigs. Lu Jingyu looked at the buns and said with some guilt, Brother, do you think I ate too much? Auntie can only eat steamed buns. Lu Jingfeng didn't say anything. During this period, he also had a change of mind towards his stepmother. He no longer had the vigilance and caution he had felt when looking at her before. It seemed that since he fainted last time, he no longer hated his stepmother as much. Xia Yushan walked around the yard several times. When she entered the house, Lu Jingfeng had already washed the dishes and Lu Jingyu had also wiped the table clean. She went into the house to get her clothes, and when she came out, she was sweating, so she took a shower as usual. Otherwise the sweat will stick to your body, making it sticky and very uncomfortable. As soon as she opened the door, she saw Lu Jingfeng standing at the door. Is there something wrong? Xia Yushan asked doubtfully. Lu Jingfeng bit his lip, looking very embarrassed, and tightened the thing in his hand again and again. Finally, he mustered up the courage and handed the thing in his hand to Xia Yushan. This is for you. What? Xia Yushan took it. It was a rusty iron box. She opened the iron box and found a stack of money inside. They are all change of $1.50. Is this all the money you saved by skipping meals at school? Every time Lu Yuting gave money to Lu Jingfeng, he would give him change of 1 yuan and 50 cents so that he could use it conveniently. Xia Yushan knew this. Lu Jingfeng didn't say anything. Why give it to me? Xia Yushan asked again. Lu Jingfeng took a long time before replying, buying vegetables. Xia Yushan, she was eating steamed buns, which caused them to misunderstand. However, she was still quite relieved. Lu Jingfeng must have a purpose for saving money by not eating or drinking. But now that he was willing to give it to her, it showed that Lu Jingfeng's opinion of her had changed. At least he no longer had any hostility towards her. I have money to buy groceries. Your father gave me a lot of living expenses when he passed away. You can keep this money. Xia Yushan returned the money to Lu Jingfeng. Lu Jingfeng was slightly surprised and looked at her. Not only did his stepmother not ask him what he was saving money for, she also didn't ask for his money. I'm going to take a shower. Please remind Jingyu to watch less TV and take a shower and rest early. Xia Yushan took her clothes and went to the bathroom. After a day of eating a lot of carbohydrates, Xia Yushan lived up to her expectations. 143.2 kilograms. She got off the platform and lost almost 2 kilograms. This was the most she had lost in recent times. My weight increased by 200 grams on the second day after resuming my diet, but it dropped back down on the third day. The weight started to drop slowly again. The hot summer days in June and July are the most unbearable, especially for fat people. It is torture. At noon, the sun is at its hottest. Xia Yushan got up earlier than before. 135. Looking at the numbers on the scale, she was in a good mood. Her goal was almost achieved and she just needed to lose another 5 kilograms. The original owner was about 1.67 meters tall and weighed 130 kilograms, which was not considered fat for his height. She doesn't require a beautiful figure, just a perfect body shape. Being too thin doesn't look good. She was in a good mood and took advantage of the cool morning to go to the small shop to buy vegetables. Because it was early, I never met Xia Yushan again. After buying groceries, she prepared lunch. It was very hot at noon, and going into the kitchen felt like being roasted in the oven. Many families in rural areas do this, making a little more in the morning and eating the leftovers at noon. You can take this time to rest and take a nap at noon. Although it is a hot summer day, there is still plenty of farm work to do. I would do more in the morning when it is cool, and rest at home when it is hot at noon. Hot weather is also the fastest time for fat loss. Fat is excreted through breathing, urine, and sweat, which is why you should drink more water. Sister. Xia Yushan, who was taking a nap, became sleepy when she heard the call. I didn't get enough sleep and my head is dizzy. She forced herself to get up and found that it was dark. Has she slept till night? Sister. Zhang's sister-in-law walked in wearing a straw hat. Xia Yushan went out to greet him. Sister-in-law Zhang, is there anything wrong? It's going to rain heavily today. I'm here to remind you to be careful. After being reminded by Zhang's sister-in-law, Xia Yushan noticed that the sky turned dark because it was covered by dark clouds. Please close the doors and windows. I have something to do at home, so I'll leave first. After giving the instructions, Zhang's sister-in-law left. Xia Yushan looked at the sky again and saw that it was indeed going to rain heavily. Jingfeng, where's Jingyu? In the house, she didn't see Lu Jingyu. She's out having fun. Go and get her back. Okay. Lu Jingfeng ran out. Xia Yushan began to close the windows, so she closed all the windows in the house. Not long after Lu Jingfeng found Lu Jingyu, he started to brag about it. The wind was blowing, making a loud noise outside the house. It seemed as if it was going to blow the house away. Bad weather always makes people afraid. The strong wind had not yet ended when the thunder came. The loudness of the thunder can be seen from the lightning. When that lightning came, the whole sky was lit up. There was a loud bang. R. Lu Jingyu screamed in fright. Xia Yushan quickly hugged her into her arms. Jingyu, don't be afraid, it's okay. After the thunder, rain as big as beans began to fall from the sky. It was pouring rain, and the old house had not been renovated for a long time. It started to leak under the heavy rain. Xia Yushan was stunned. She had lived for more than 20 years, and this was the first time she had seen such a scene. It was raining heavily outside and drizzling inside. Lu Jingfeng seemed to be used to it and quickly went to get a basin to collect the rain water. The rain outside was getting heavier and heavier, and the wind was getting stronger and stronger. The rain inside the house was getting heavier. Xia Yushan came to her senses and hurried to get a basin of water. I quickly found something to cover the TV, so that if it got caught in the rain, it would be broken. At this time, her clothes were all wet. The house was dripping with rain and the bed was wet. Xia Yushan quickly carried all the quilts to a place where they would not be exposed to the rain. It doesn't matter if it's a little wet, but if it's all wet, it's like soaking in water, and it's all like a cotton quilt, so it's useless after being soaked in water. Now the only place that is not leaking is the sofa outside the house. She carried the quilts from her room and Lu Jingfeng's room and piled them on the sofa. With a bang, the door opened. She was startled and her balance was unstable as she was holding the quilt. Just as she was about to fall, a pair of hands grabbed her waist, which helped her keep her balance. She looked up and asked in surprise, "Lu Yuting? You're back." Chapter 26. Lu Yuting is a man of action. Lu Yuting put his arm around Xia Yushan's waist, and he found that Xia Yushan's waist seemed to have become much thinner and there was no flesh on it anymore. The moment the strong big hand was placed on my waist, an electric current struck my heart and my heart beat faster. Xia Yushan quickly stood firm, looking at Lu Yuting who was soaked all over, and hurried to get a towel to relieve her rapid heartbeat. "Wipe it off quickly, don't catch a cold." Lu Yuting took the towel and wiped the water off his head. "When did you come back?" Xia Yushan asked. "In the afternoon." After Lu Yuting answered, he did not forget to explain, "The equipment needs to be transported to the factory, so I went back to the factory first." "Then why did you come back when it was raining so hard? It's so dangerous." Xia Yushan scolded. "Not to mention the heavy rain, just the lightning and thunder, even if you are struck by lightning, you can still survive." Lu Yuting was slightly surprised that she did not blame him for not coming back immediately, but was worried about his safety. There was something strange in the way he looked at her. "Dad." Lu Jingyu rushed over and hugged Lu Yuting's legs. Lu Yuting picked her up. "Dad, Yaya misses you so much." Lu Jingyu lay in his arms and acted coquettishly. Lu Yuting hugged her and rubbed her head gently. "He is not good at saying sentimental things." Lu Jingfeng looked at Jingyu lying in her father's arms and acting coquettishly, and he showed an envious look. He also wants a hug from his father. But he was embarrassed and didn't dare to step forward. Xia Yushan found a set of clean clothes and handed them to Lu Yuting. "Change your clothes, don't catch a cold later." "Okay." Lu Yuting put Lu Jingyu down and took the clothes. "You, just change here. It's raining everywhere now. Don't let your clothes get wet before you change." Xia Yushan's face turned a little red when she said this. She quickly pulled Lu Jingyu aside and said, "Jingyu, let's go get some water with Auntie." She and Jingyu each took a basin and went to the place where the leak was more serious. When she turned around, she saw that Lu Yuting had just taken off his shirt, with dark skin and clear muscle lines. The overflowing hormones made her swallow her saliva involuntarily. At this moment, she felt like a complete slut. Sure enough, sexual impulses are common to both men and women. Lu Yuting seemed to feel Xia Yushan's gaze, raised his eyes and looked over, just in time to meet Xia Yushan's eyes. Xia Yushan, who was caught on the spot, looked back behind her ears. She quickly looked away and went to get some water, making herself look busy. Lu Yuting changed his clothes and came over to help. Xia Yushan didn't dare to look him in the eye. The heavy rain lasted for 2 hours before it stopped. After the heavy rain, the sky cleared up, revealing its white belly. After a light rain in the house, a puddle of rainwater accumulated on the ground. Xia Yushan looked at the house that had been washed once, and looked at Lu Yuting with despair. "Should we consider building a new house?" The ground was still mud, and now after being soaked by the rain, it was impossible to step on. "It's impossible to clean up." "Okay." Lu Yuting responded. "I'll go to the factory and be back soon." After saying that, Lu Yuting left. Xia Yushan, "No, it's already this time, and you're still thinking about things at the factory. How does she deal with this?" After all, I had never seen such a scene before, and I didn't know how to start. No wonder the original owner became unreasonable. If she were in his place, she would want to make a fuss too. It's okay for a man to be career-oriented, but he can't just ignore his family. The house doesn't belong to her alone. If he doesn't care, then she won't care either. Xia Yushan sat directly on the sofa and acted rude. I was also angry. "Sister, sister." The voice of Zhang's sister-in-law came from outside the door. Although she was angry, Xia Yushan would not show her emotions to outsiders. She calmed herself down and went out. "Sister-in-law of the Zhang family." Sister, it rained so heavily just now. I've lived for almost 30 years, and this is the first time I've seen such heavy rain. How is your family? Is everything okay? Zhang's sister-in-law asked with concern. Xia Yushan smiled and said, It's okay, just some rain leaked into their house, we can just clean it up. I'm glad you're okay. I came to check. My house is leaking too. My husband is fixing it on the roof. I'll go back and clean it up too. Sister-in-law Zhang, then you should slow down. Xia Yushan felt warm in her heart because of Zhang's sister-in-law's concern. The first thing I did was to come over to see if she was okay. Unlike some people who don't even care about their own families. Beep. Beep. As soon as she entered the house, she heard a whistle outside the door. She looked out curiously. I saw Lu Yuting getting off the truck and strode in. See what you need, I'll put it in the car. What are you doing? Xia Yushan asked curiously. Lu Yuting replied, Since we're building a new house, we can't live here. I have to ask you to live with me in the factory for a while. I've asked Li Fei to clean up a small warehouse. You and Jingyu will live in my lounge, and Jingfeng and I will live in the warehouse. So, you just went to arrange accommodation? Xia Yushan asked, feeling a little nervous. Did she speak a little louder just now? You can't blame her for that. This man is a man of action. He does what he says without even telling her. She was bound to misunderstand. Lu Yuting nodded, yeah. Then I'll go clean it up. Although Xia Yushan comforted herself, she still felt guilty and didn't dare to look him in the eye. After all, I just greeted all his ancestors. Xia Yushan packed everything she needed, including daily necessities and clothes. She was responsible for packing, and Lu Yuting was responsible for the labor, and they loaded everything into the car. Lu Yuting, wait for me, I'll go say hello to Zhang's sister-in-law. During this period, Zhang's sister-in-law has always taken good care of her. Whether out of politeness or gratitude, she felt it necessary to say hello to Zhang's sister-in-law. Good. Xia Yushan went to the village chief's house. Lu Yuting carried Lu Jingfeng and Lu Jingyu into the car, then drove to the side of the road to wait for Xia Yushan. Xia Yushan went to say hello and then came back. In the past, we also had to clean up in the factory. It was already dark. Lu Yuting drove to the factory, and the workers there had already gone home after get-off work. Only Li Fei is still here. Brother Ting, everything is packed. Okay, thanks, you can go back too. It's okay, I'll help you unload your things and then go back. I'm home alone anyway, so I don't have anything to do. Then Comrade Li, you might as well eat later before leaving. It will be troublesome to go back alone. Xia Yushan said. Then she looked at Lawrence Lu, you and Comrade Li unload the things, I'll go to the kitchen to make something to eat. I've been busy since the heavy rain started and haven't eaten a single bite of food yet. Okay, the kitchen is right there. It has everything. Just cook as you see fit. Lu Yuting's factory provides Chinese meals. First, workers don't have to run back and forth, and second, work efficiency can be improved. Yeah. Xia Yushan went to the kitchen. Lu Jingyu couldn't help much, so she followed her. Lu Jingfeng stayed to help. Li Fei was quite shocked when he heard that Xia Yushan invited him to dinner and even cooked for him herself. I couldn't help but take a few more glances. What are you looking at? Get to work. Lu Yuting patted him on the shoulder. Li Fei came back to his senses. Brother Ting, my sister-in-law is very different now. Yeah. Lu Yuting's hand paused while moving things. It is indeed very different. It made him truly feel like he had a home. Chapter 27, Say nothing, do it silently. Xia Yushan brought Lu Jingyu to the kitchen. The kitchen is not very big, with a stove and a big pot. There is a refrigerator against the wall. After all, there are so many people, and it's hard to control the amount of food, so there will be leftover food. If you don't put it in the refrigerator on a hot day, you won't be able to eat it the next day. She opened the refrigerator first. There were some leftovers in the refrigerator, and the only leftovers were some pickles. There was also a piece of lean meat that was not cooked. She took out all the leftovers and lean meat. Then he took a few more eggs. It's so late, we're all hungry. She planned to keep it simple, just make some fried rice with eggs and add some pickles to make it more flavorful. The fried rice was a bit too dry, so she made some lean meatballs and vegetable soup. After finishing, she asked Jinyu to call them to eat. She served each person a bowl of egg fried rice. She served herself a little. Then pour the soup into a large soup bowl. In the 21st century, this may seem a bit shabby, but in the 1980s, it was a feast. As for egg fried rice, adults are reluctant to eat it, but children will beat an egg and fry a big bowl of it when they are craving for it. Not to mention meatball soup. Li Fei was very surprised when he saw the egg fried rice and meatball soup. I didn't expect Xia Yushan could make fried rice so well and also make meatball soup. After all, in his memory, Xia Yushan is a lazy person who can't do anything. Lu Yuting's focus was on the rice in Xia Yushan's bowl. It was no exaggeration to say that he could eat it in one bite. Since he came back, he found that Xia Yushan had lost weight and her face was smaller. I can't eat so much. Lu Yuting held the bowl and prepared to give some to Xia Yushan. In his opinion, Xia Yushan ate so little because there was no more food left. Li Fei also discovered at this time that there was only a small mouthful of rice in Xia Yushan's bowl. Xia Yushan had come to the factory to eat before, and she was the one who did it with a basin. Xia Yushan quickly moved the bowl away and refused. If you can't finish it, don't give it to me. This is enough for me. Egg fried rice is simply a mixture of sugar and oil, and the key is that it is also served with pickles. Although I have lost weight now, I am not yet at my ideal weight. And even if you have lost weight to your ideal weight, you cannot eat and drink as much as you want without any dietary restrictions within 3 months. It takes 3 months for the body to adapt. The fat on the body is formed by useless fat. After this fat falls off, high-quality fat will enter. If the body cannot absorb high-quality fat, the high-quality fat will immediately turn into fat. This is also the reason why some people gain weight the more they lose weight. Others say that there is a reason for the rebound. Because your high-quality fat has not adapted to your body, and new high-quality fat also needs 3 months to adapt to your body. She did this before. After losing weight, she kept the weight off for another 3 months. The only difference was that she didn't make herself hungry on purpose like when she was losing weight. She would eat enough to fill herself up. In fact, after 3 months, not only has your body adapted to fat, you have also adapted to healthy eating habits. I won't be craving for greasy, smelly food. The reason she ate this bite of egg fried rice today was because she had been busy all afternoon and was really hungry, but she didn't want to make some separately, otherwise she wouldn't have eaten this bite. Comrade Li, there's more in the pot. Eat it and then go get more for yourself. When Xia Yushan said this, both Lu Yuting and Li Fei were shocked. Li Fei, like Lu Yuting, thought that Xia Yushan ate so little because she had nothing left. Unexpectedly, there was still some in the pot. Xia Yushan picked up 2 meatballs and a little greens and finished them quickly. Take your time to eat, I'll go clean up. She got up and left. It was good enough for 2 grown men to carry the things down, but I guess they just put them in a mess. She still has to clean it up. It's not that she's very diligent, she just has obsessive-compulsive disorder and can't help it. If things are not categorized properly, she feels uncomfortable looking at them. Even if she fell asleep in the middle of the night, she would have to get up and tidy up before she could go back to sleep. What she didn't expect was that except for the clothes, everything was neatly organized and she didn't need to do anything at all. Did Lu Yuting just tell her where his lounge is? She carried her and Jingyue's clothes inside. The lounge is simple, with just a wooden bed and a wooden wardrobe with double doors. As expected of Lu Yuting, who had served in the army, his quilt was as square as tofu, and his bed was tidy and clean. Although the room is not big, it is clean and tidy. Xia Yushan put the clean clothes on the bed and folded them one by one. She opened the closet, but saw that there was no clothing inside. Did Lu Yuting just take away all the clothes? She put her and Jingyue's clothes into the closet. Knock. 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 There was a knock on the door. Come in. With her permission, the door of the room was opened. Lu Yuting walked in. The bed is a little small, so you and Jingyu can only squeeze in for the time being. Lu Yuting was just taking a temporary rest, and the bed was only about 1 meter and 2 meters wide. It's no problem for me to squeeze in with Jingyu now. Xia Yushan said with a self-deprecating smile. If it was the original owner's body shape, it would be difficult for him to fit into the bed. Lawrence Lu looked at her and didn't think what she said was funny. Instead, he said seriously, "You've lost a lot of weight. You've worked hard taking care of Jing Feng and Jing Yu during this period. Although Xia Yushan was wearing a loose and baggy skirt, he could still see that she had lost a lot of weight. Xia Yushan found this very useful. Who doesn't want to be called skinny? I see you can't wear these clothes anymore. Let's go to the city tomorrow. I can find someone to fix up the house. Okay. Xia Yushan was not polite. She really needs to buy clothes. I had been putting up with it before because I was afraid that if I bought it, it would be wasted after I lost weight. My current weight is close to my target weight and the size is not much different. I'm almost fed up with wearing oversized skirts all day long. Then can you get up at 6 tomorrow morning? Let's take Jing Feng and Jing Yu with us and go to the city to spend the morning together. Okay. Xia Yushan agreed. Just as she expected, Jing Feng and Jing Yu also needed to buy clothes and shoes. Jing Feng was about to start school, so she felt that his school bag and pencil case needed to be replaced. The school bag was torn and his pencil case was deformed and looked terrible. Then you should rest early. When Lawrence Liu was about to go out, Xia Yushan thought of something and hurriedly said, "You gave me the closet, so where do you and Jing Feng put your clothes?" She just remembered it when she saw the pajamas on the bed. "I found a clean snakeskin bag and put Jing Feng and I's clothes in it." Liu Yuting's answer made Xia Yushan feel warm in her heart. The man said nothing and did everything silently. "If you keep your clothes like this, they will get wrinkled. Let's go to the city tomorrow and buy a wardrobe that's about the same size as yours. When the new house is built, it can be used by Jing Feng or Jing Yu." Okay. Liu Yuting agreed.